Douluo, after reading my diary, they started cheating like crazy. Welcome back, brave explorers of impossible worlds. We are excited to have you here to continue this odyssey together. Before we continue, everything you'll hear is pure fiction, so please don't try to replicate combat techniques at home. This wonderful story and all its rights belong to its brilliant original author. We are only the messengers of entertainment. Want another dose of adventure? Subscribe to our YouTube channel so you don't miss a single chapter, and if you can't wait, our Patreon has exclusive surprises you'll love. Chapter 51. Liena is cheating again. The scene was quiet. Liena wanted to get up, but she heard Su Chen's secret voice, "Don't move, if you get up, how embarrassing it would be if Qian Renxue found me." Liena thought about it, so she could only bite the bullet and sit on Su Chen's lap, not daring to move. Qian Renxue looked at the two people, who suddenly sat together. Liena's face quickly turned red. No matter how she thought about it, it felt wrong. "Why are you blushing? Is there someone pointing a gun at you? Hey, would you like to consider our feelings?" She had originally thought that Su Chen was a wise man, a mature time traveler, but who would have thought? He is actually not a serious person. Su Chen was also upset. "Blame me? Who asked you to lend your pajamas to Liena?" He quickly changed the subject. "Qian Renxue, I've basically said everything I need to remind you. Lingling and I haven't had dinner yet, please help us arrange it at home. Lingling, you can come with us. Don't hesitate to ask her for anything she likes. I've been a big help to her today." "Yes," Lingling nodded obediently. Qian Renxue glanced at Su Chen and Liena with some displeasure, then turned and left with Lingling. "Huh?" Liena let out a long breath, stood up, and looked at Su Chen's embarrassed state. She said speechlessly, "Can't you just be more honest?" Su Chen was also speechless. He said, "My martial soul, Kunpen, is under the influence of your martial soul, the demon fox, and is trying to unleash its martial soul fusion technique. Can you blame me for this? While they're out, help my martial soul degrade." "What?" Liena's face was startled. She pinched Su Chen's waist and said unhappily, "Stop messing around. Zuir and Lingling will be back soon. Besides, I can see you have feelings for Zuir. If you mess around now, it will really affect her perception of you." Su Chen shook his head. "It's nothing. She just asked me to choose between money, beauty, and status, and I don't like either. I'm obviously not a pushover." But Liena still hesitated. Su Chen pulled Liena and whispered seriously in her ear, "I'm really angry right now, front yard." Qian Renxue had already returned to her Zhu King persona. She said to Lingling, "Miss Lingling, don't be shy. Just tell them what you like to eat." Lingling nodded gently, "Thank you, Your Highness." Qian Renxue, disguised as Zhu King, was still as approachable as ever. She said with a gentle and comfortable smile, "You're welcome. Why don't I just call you Lingling, and you call me Brother King?" "Yes, Brother King," Lingling called out, looking at Qian Renxue beside her. She thought to herself, she also had a special admiration for Qian Renxue. Her disguise for so many years was really not easy. It would be difficult for ordinary people to do it. The two characters of Qian Renxue and Zhu King are really opposites. One is approachable, the other is cold and noble. Suddenly, Qian Renxue and Lingling's faces changed, their eyes widening uncontrollably in shock. "Congratulations to Liena for triggering the hidden quest reward and receiving soul power increased by 10 levels. Congratulations to Liena for being the first to trigger the hidden quest reward and receiving 100,000-year soul rings and 100,000-year soul bones, before the flowers bloomed. Life is full of surprises." Qian Renxue and Lingling were incredulous. They had only just emerged from the scene, and Liena had already gotten a hidden reward? This was actually a new gameplay. A new hidden reward? She was so clever at eating. Damn it. Qian Renxue and Lingling were filled with jealousy. Liena was truly inhuman. She didn't leave any soup for her sisters. 100,000-year soul rings and soul bones, in such a short time, she'd already gotten 4 sets. Wait? Qian Renxue's mind suddenly exploded. The current Liena, has she grown into an 80th level soul Douluo with 4 sets of 100,000-year soul rings and soul bones? Oh my god. My god level angel martial soul, with an innate 20th level soul power, would be useless in front of her. Lingling thought of something in her heart and suddenly smiled happily. Sister eats meat and I drink soup. Sister Liena developed a hidden task, so I can ask her next. Although I can't get soul rings and soul bones. But I can get a 10-level soul power improvement. In this way, although I am a healing soul master, I can also break through to the title of Douluo. Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong was so shocked that she almost dropped her scepter on the ground. That perfect face, those beautiful eyes, that cherry mouth, all formed a look of shock. She couldn't help but tighten her legs, her body trembling uncontrollably as she muttered, Nana's already level 80, possessing 4 sets of 100,000-year spirit rings and spirit bones. How old is she now? Ha. Bibi Dong's heart raced with excitement at the thought. Soon, she, the youngest and most powerful title Douluo in history, would be surpassed by Nana. The disciple surpasses the master. So this is what's called cheating. At that moment, Bibi Dong finally understood what a time traveler was, what cheating was, how powerful time travelers were, and how exhilarating it was to cheat. Wait a minute. Bibi Dong suddenly realized that she wasn't the one cheating. She couldn't understand how exhilarating it was. Who, Liena? That ungrateful little bastard. She had clearly given her a mission, to follow Su Chen and mention her in front of him more often so she could get her name in the diary copy and receive a reward. Now she hadn't seen anything, while this ungrateful little bastard was practically cramping up the rewards. So infuriating. Bibi Dong also secretly decided that she would teach this little fox a lesson when she came back. Shrek Academy. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing, 3 of her friends, gathered together and chatted passionately with each other. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing knew all of Xiao Wu's secrets. Since they were friends, they did not hide anything and reveal their secrets to each other. In fact, it didn't matter whether they said it or not. One day, they were lucky enough to become the lucky audience. Everything was exposed by Su Chen. When Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong learned about Zhu Zhuqing's affairs, and knew that Dai Bei had fled from the Xingluo Empire to Soto City without caring about Zhu Zhuqing's life or death, and was still living a life of luxury here, and when they learned that Zhu Zhuqing had escaped from the Xingluo Empire after a narrow escape, they were furious. Damn it, Ning Rongrong clenched her fists in anger and said angrily, Zhuqing, let us help you kill this unfaithful man. Xiao Wu also nodded vigorously and said, how hateful. He is the same scumbag as Tang San's master. Let's go and teach him a lesson together. Zhu Zhuqing hurriedly stopped her. Don't, the 2 of them said angrily. Zhuqing, he treated you like that, are you going to be a bootlicker? That's right, you can't be a bootlicker. Because of Su Chen's diary, their knowledge has also been enriched and increased. Chapter 52 Liena, be a human being. Zhu Zhuqing shook her head and said, no, I feel sick just seeing him now. It's just that the 3 of us wouldn't be able to defeat him. He's already a level 37 Soul Master. We, level 29, 26, and 27 Great Soul Masters, are no match for him, indeed. The gap between a Soul Master and a Great Soul Master is vast. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were still furious. Huh? Ning Rongrong suddenly said, that Su Chen is coming to Soto City tomorrow, look, he's coming to teach that scumbag Yu Zhigang a lesson. And Dai Bei is a scumbag too. I think he'll take care of him as well. Xiao Wu nodded heavily, yes. Then we'll watch the show? Zhu Zhuqing looked at the 2 of them strangely, and finally asked Xiao Wu, aren't you afraid he's coming to take your soul ring? Ugh. Xiao Wu's face froze instantly. Ning Rongrong muttered, I don't think so. Think about it, this diary is so mysterious, and it even helped Liena obtain 300,000-year spirit rings and spirit bones. It wouldn't attack Xiao Wu, would it? Zhu Zhuqing shook her head, wondering, who could resist picking up a set of 100,000-year spirit rings and spirit bones? She pondered this carefully, then looked at Xiao Wu and said, the fact that he didn't come to you right away suggests he doesn't value your spirit rings, but I think you should be careful. Liena is his girlfriend. If he doesn't need them, that doesn't prove Liena doesn't need them. Zhu Zhuqing's words hit the nail on the head, and her ears perked up in shock. At that moment, the notification that Liena had received her reward echoed in the minds of the 3 of them. Liena, you deserve it. The 3 of them were furious. What kind of rotten luck was this? In just a few days, her spirit power had increased by 30 levels, and she had obtained 4 sets of 100,000-year spirit rings and spirit bones. Liena, we beg you to be a human being. Let alone the 3 of them, who on the entire continent would not envy Liena for her success? Even Poseidon of the Sea God Island is so envious that his chest hurts. Zhu Zhuqing blurted out, I think Liena probably doesn't even look down on your spirit ring." Xiao Wu also breathed a sigh of relief instantly, patting her chest, which looked like that of an elementary school student compared to Zhu Zhuqing, with a look of shock. "I'm scared to death. How on earth did this Liena do it?" Ning Rongrong gritted her teeth and said, "This damn little fox. We've been waiting for Su Chen to come to Shrek for so long, and she has already received so many rewards. Liena is really damned." Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu nodded heavily, raising their hands and feet in agreement. Zhu Zhuqing suddenly looked at the two of them and asked, "Do you know Yi Lingling and Du Yan? I remember Su Chen went to find Du Yan and met Yi Lingling. Since the two knew each other, why did Yi Lingling get a reward but Du Yan didn't?" Xiao Wu looked confused. "How could she, a rabbit, know who?" "I know," Ning Rongrong said. "I heard from my father that Yi Lingling is the woman with the nine-hearted begonia spirit. Du Yan, if I remember correctly, is Poison Douluo's granddaughter. They both attended the Heaven Dao Royal Academy. They must have a good relationship. My father said they're both talented students at the Heaven Dao Royal Academy and have formed a team to compete in the Continental Spirit Master competition." Zhu Zhuqing nodded, pondering. If that's the case, then the reward isn't easy to get, since Du Yan didn't get it, and Yi Lingling only got it once. "By the way, Xiao Wu, I think if you want to live well and protect your two friends in the forest, you must curry favor with Su Chen. As long as Su Chen is willing to help you, even if you brazenly go to the spirit hall, no one will dare to touch you. Think about it carefully." Compared to a little princess like Ning Rongrong and a love-struck bunny like Xiao Wu, Zhu Zhuqing was quite clear-headed and thoughtful. Xiao Wu nodded as she listened to Zhu Zhuqing's words, a complicated expression on her face. How to curry favor. Oh. If I had known, I should have saved the carrot reward from last time and given it to Su Chen. Ning Rongrong patted Xiao Wu and comforted her. "It's okay. Zhuqing and I will help you. The three of us sisters working together will definitely be able to defeat the damned Liena." Frankly speaking, Liena has now become a thorn in the side of the women who possess the diary copy. Aside from Yi Lingling's younger sister, Qian Renxue's older sister, and Master Bibi Dong, there's not a single woman who doesn't envy and hate her. Damn luck. If we could find Su Chen outside the starred-out Great Forest, we could do it too. The prince's mansion. Qian Renxue and Yi Lingling stared at each other for a long time, completely at a loss for words. "Lingling, let's go to the backyard and tell Master Su and Miss Liena to have dinner," Qian Renxue said calmly, standing up and walking back with Yi Lingling. It wasn't until they reached the backyard, when no one was around, that Yi Lingling couldn't help but whisper, "Sister Zhu, isn't it a bit inappropriate for us to go back so suddenly to disturb them?" Qian Renxue chuckled and said, "Let's go. I have to see how she gets her reward today, etc." "Lingling, what did you just say? It's not okay to go back and disturb them suddenly? Oh my god. Are these two doing something shameful in their own room?" Qian Renxue stopped, looked at Yi Lingling and asked, "You also got the first reward. Do you know how you got Nana's second reward?" Yi Lingling blushed. "How could I not know? I leaned against the wall and listened all night." "That's something between husband and wife." Qian Renxue was instantly numb. She knew about the first reward, Liena had told her. The second reward was too embarrassing, Liena hadn't told her yet. "Forget it, let's wait outside for a while before going in." Qian Renxue sighed inwardly and asked Yi Lingling, "Why did you decide to follow Su Chen? What do you think of him?" Yi Lingling answered honestly about his relationship with Su Chen, a happy smile spreading across her face as she spoke. "I think he's a great person. Although I'm not the only woman he'll ever have, he's very sincere and treats me well from the heart. If you're willing, Sister Zhu, I support you becoming the second sister." Qian Renxue? Qian Renxue was truly insane. Yi Lingling spoke about her relationship with Su Chen with an auntie's smile on her face, and finally even said that she wanted to be the second sister. She was truly convinced. "Lingling, do you think you're more love-brained than the love-brained master and disciple in the spirit hall that Su Chen mentioned?" Yi Lingling shook her head and said seriously, "It's different. Su Chen's love-brained talk is stupid, but I'm clear-headed. And we're both heading in the same direction. He treats me well, and I treat him well too." Chapter 53 We report her for cheating. "Well, you're right, everything you said is right." Qian Renxue was speechless. "If you weren't so love-brained, I would break off my wings and roast them for you." Yi Lingling suddenly said, "No." Qian Renxue looked at Yi Lingling in confusion, not understanding what was wrong again. Yi Lingling said with a shy face. They shouldn't be practicing the martial soul fusion technique, because there is no sound inside. When practicing the martial soul fusion technique, Nana's screams are very loud. Qian Renxue. She slapped her forehead and felt exhausted. Can't we be serious? Then it should be over. Let's go in, Qian Renxue said, and walked into the house with Yi Lingling. At this moment, Liena had already eaten everything. Noticing the strange looks from Qian Renxue and Yi Lingling, Liena was too embarrassed to look at them and cast a resentful glare at Su Chen. Su Chen, however, remained calm and asked, "Is dinner ready?" Qian Renxue surveyed the room for a long time, finding nothing unusual. The bed was exactly as she had left it, and her pajamas were intact, uncreased. This left her bewildered. Were they so serious just now? Had she and Yi Lingling been having some illicit affair and misinterpreted it? Okay, I'll have someone send it to the back. Not long after, a family dinner began. Qian Renxue was in the backyard, acting like herself. She didn't know why, but she felt a lingering urge to appear more presentable to Su Chen, and a vague aversion to facing him as Zhu King. Su Chen ate while serving food to Liena and Yi Lingling. Noticing Qian Renxue's complicated expression, he placed a piece of meat for her and comforted her. Man proposes, God disposes. If you need me in the future, send someone to Wuhan City to find me. I'm going to Suado City next, then I'll return to Wuhan City to live. Qian Renxue asked, bafflingly, why not live in Xiandao City? Su Chen replied calmly, because Liena is there. Ugh. Qian Renxue's defenses were instantly broken. Liena happily kissed Su Chen on the cheek, leaving it covered in oil. Su Chen observed Qian Renxue's gloomy expression and said with a smile, on this continent, the strong are respected. While equality will never be achieved, the spirit hall gives me a far more comfortable feeling than the two empires. If it weren't for your mother, and if Bibi Dong wasn't a bit unnatural, I would have taken my knowledge and joined the spirit hall long ago. Qian Renxue paused, her gaze fixed on Su Chen. Su Chen shook his head slightly. People always cling to what they can't obtain, and everyone's first love is incredibly unforgettable. She inherited the Rakshasa throne, and has been corrupted by evil. The future of the spirit hall will ultimately depend on you and Nana. Qian Renxue fell silent. Liena's expression also grew complex. Suddenly, the two of them exchanged glances, their eyes seemingly lighting up. It occurred to them that perhaps something they might find in the diary copies could help them in the future. Su Chen, thank you. Qian Renxue glanced at Su Chen gratefully, then quietly lowered her head to eat. Su Chen laughed and said, thank you, I don't need it. After all, my intentions towards you aren't pure. Besides, deep down, I really hope you fail. If you succeed and become the Emperor of Xiandao, I won't have a chance to get close to you. Puff. Yi Lingling, who had been enjoying her meal, spat out a mouthful of anger upon hearing this. Her expression was similar to the reaction of Du Yan, the onlooker, when Su Chen had once sincerely discussed marriage with her. Outrageous. Big brother, do you have to be so sincere? Liena also looked at Su Chen with a strange expression. She had never expected Su Chen to even harbor such thoughts, and to speak so directly. Qian Renxue was completely stunned. Her perception of Su Chen was constantly being redefined. Initially, she had assumed such a prophet was some otherworldly sage, even if not an old man, at least possessing the air of a sage. Now she realized he was actually a complete idiot. Liena, he's not, what nonsense. The meal was over. When it was time to leave, Liena looked at Yi Lingling and said, good sister, Su Chen is in your care tonight. You take him back to the spirit hall, and I'll stay with Zuir, huh? Yi Lingling looked at Liena with a confused look on her face. Sister, you can still practice spirit fusion with him tonight. I'm not in a hurry. Are you afraid of hearing the sound of our spirit fusion and having insomnia like I did last night? Su Chen looked at Liena with a strange look in his eyes. There had always been something wrong with this little fox, and he knew it was wrong. What was he thinking now? Liena caught Su Chen's eye, reached out her delicate hand, and caressed his face. She smiled and said, Zuir and I haven't seen each other in ages. We're leaving Xiandao tomorrow, so I'll stay to keep her company. Yes, Su Chen nodded without saying anything. Then he looked at Qian Renxue and instructed, even a lion will fight a rabbit with all its might. Don't be sad, don't be upset, because you still have me. Su Chen waved to Qian Renxue and Liena, then walked away hand in hand with Yi Lingling. Qian Renxue watched Su Chen's departing back, her face flushed. What was he talking about? I still have you, he said. How could I have you? Liena chuckled sarcastically. Don't be sad, you still have me, you? Qian Renxue clenched her fists in anger. Ha ha ha, Liena laughed heartily. Why do you still want to beat me, Xiaoxu? As long as you don't inherit the angel god, you can't defeat me. Are you angry? Qian Renxue sighed heavily. She was only in her 60s, but her innate spirit power was level 20. And she was a few years older than Liena. This was truly the wrong path. Liena saw Qian Renxue's dejected expression and hurried forward to hold her back, comforting her. I was just kidding. Don't worry, when Su Chen and I get to Shrek tomorrow, I'll kill Tang San and make you happy. Qian Renxue was stunned. Kill Tang San? According to Su Chen, Tang San isn't just a time traveler, he's also the protagonist of this world. Killing him wouldn't be easy, right? Liena chuckled and unleashed her spirit. Purple, 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 red, 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 red. 400,000-year-old red lights illuminated the night. Even though Qian Renxue had known about this terrifying spirit ring configuration, she was still speechless after seeing it. From the darkness, Snake Spear Douluo and Thorny Porpoise Douluo couldn't help but fly out, their faces filled with shock. Nana, how did you do that? 400,000-year spirit rings, even the first and second are purple. They were completely stunned. You know, the two of us titled Douluos only have a configuration of yellow, yellow, purple, 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 black, 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 black. And Liena is so young, yet she's already reached level 80. Are we overdoing it? We haven't even slept yet. They said, holy crap. Chapter 54 9-Heart Begonia Emperor Martial Soul Fusion Technique. Liena enjoyed their gazes and said calmly, Grandfathers, have you heard of the inheritance of the Divine Throne? Indeed, I inherited the Divine Throne, and my spirit rings are divinely bestowed spirit rings awarded through a test. This was something Bibi Dong had taught to Liena before. Actually, when Bibi Dong taught to Liena this, she was deeply uncertain. Her divine exams were a complete failure, and she was even being suppressed. Thorny Porpoise and Snake Spear were also stunned. So terrifying. This divine throne must be the god of wealth, right? The fifth spirit ring is already 100,000 years old. If not the god of wealth, what else could it be? Nana is amazing, we're really old, ha ha ha. The two of them were delighted. Liena was a genius in their spirit hall, and they had watched her grow up. Liena was delighted. The feeling of showing off was truly amazing. No way. Next, I have to find Su Chen again to see what tricks he can come up with. I want more. I want more. I want more. Qian Renxue was upset and said grumpily, Stop showing off, are you going to sleep or not? If not, I'm going to bed first. She was now impatient and wanted to drag Liena to ask her in detail. Liena glanced at Qian Renxue awkwardly and muttered, I'm not staying here to keep you company. With that, Liena looked at Porcupine Douluo and Snake Spear Douluo and said seriously, Grandpas, my inherited divine power is increasing too quickly. Could you please give me some guidance to help me adjust to my current strength? She really wasn't staying here to keep Qian Renxue company, but to adjust to her current strength so she could kill Tang San later. Okay, let's go out of town and find a place to compete. The Porcupine Douluo and Snake Spear Douluo agreed immediately, then their faces turned a little troubled as they said, Be careful with your moves. You're no weaker than us now. We have to say here that Gangzi is quite something. With his lifetime level 29 spirit power, he has accumulated a wealth of escape experience, more rings, more bones, and a wave of skills. With so few rings and bones, she took off running. With Liena's 4 sets of 100,000-year spirit rings and spirit bones, ordinary title Douluos were hardly a match. Yes, Liena nodded emphatically, giving Qian Renxue a reassuring look that the little jerk was doomed. Then, Porpoise Douluo and Snake Lance Douluo, one carrying Liena and the other Qian Renxue, flew out of the Crown Prince's mansion. On the way back, Yi Lingling whispered, Su Chen, what were you and Sister Nana doing back there just now? Su Chen smiled, looking at Yi Lingling provocatively, and asked, Are you eager to know? So you're very brave. Yes, Yi Lingling nodded emphatically. 10th level spirit power. How could I not want to know? Su Chen pinched Yi Lingling's cheeks and said with a wicked smile, You have to know this yourself. Be good when we get back. I'll teach you how to be a duolang. Yi Lingling's heart tightened, a vague feeling that something was amiss. A branch of the spirit hall. Su Chen brought Yi Lingling back, unaware that Liena, on the other hand, stayed at the Crown Prince's mansion to challenge a title Douluo. After taking a shower, he carried Yi Lingling back to the house. Lingling, are you ready? Yi Lingling nodded shyly. I'm ready. I will marry you forever. Su Chen gently kissed her flushed face, finally nuzzling her red ears. Gazing at her captivating beauty hidden beneath her thin pajamas, Su Chen said, don't you want to know what Nana was doing? I'll teach you first, and then we'll practice the soul fusion technique. VIP content. That night, congratulations to Yi Lingling, triggering a hidden quest reward, soul power increased by 10 levels. A long time later, congratulations to Yi Lingling, triggering a hidden quest reward, soul power increased by 10 levels. In Douluo continent, soul fusion techniques are truly terrifying. For example, tonight, Yi Lingling, simply by practicing soul fusion technique with Su Chen, had jumped directly from level 48 to level 68, a 20-level increase in just one night. This demonstrates just how terrifying soul fusion techniques are. In the room, Who? Yi Lingling gasped, calling out, Nine-hearted begonia emperor, heal. A golden light descended from the sky, seemingly healing, in the form of blossoming petals, slowly drifting down, landing on Yi Lingling and Su Chen. Su Chen, bewildered, asked, Lingling, what are you doing? Yi Lingling remained silent. Sensing her healing skills were ineffective, she quickly unleashed her ultimate skill, Nine-hearted begonia emperor, revive. Instantly, the entire room began to rain down blossoms of nine-hearted begonia flowers, resurrecting and blooming. Yi Lingling said weakly, no, I can't, Su Chen. I really can't. My martial spirit can't heal. I'm so exhausted. Su Chen instantly understood and laughed, huh. Fine, that's what the nine-hearted begonia emperor told you to do, right, you little troublemaker. Your nine-hearted begonia can't restore soul power, nor can it restore physical strength, and... Do you want to see who's doing the hard work? Su Chen erupted in anger. Kunpeng's soul fusion skill, blooming everywhere. Kunpeng's soul fusion skill, spreading red and arranging flowers. Kunpeng's soul fusion skill, as you sow, so shall you reap. Nine-hearted begonia emperor, heal, revive. Outside Xiandao City, in a deserted area, a vast pink mist appeared. 6th soul ring, 1st soul skill, misty illusion. 8th soul ring, 1st soul skill, burning sky fox fire. The surrounding illusion was like a domain, and fireballs rained down from the sky. These two moves immediately forced Snake Spear and Thorny Porpoise to unleash their 9th soul skills. Liena's set of soul skills stunned both Snake Spear and Thorny Porpoise. A set of 100,000-year soul rings and soul bones equals 4 soul skills. 4 times 4 equals 16. Adding the first 4 soul skills, Liena alone possesses more soul skills than both of them combined. This is downright bullying. Of course. They were thankful Liena was only level 80, if she were 88 or 89, they would have truly collapsed. Liena's battle with the two title Douluos had truly brought Qian Renxue to tears of envy. This situation can be summed up in one phrase, one day apart feels like 3 years. In just one day, Liena had truly taken off. After the battle, Snake Spear and Thorn Porpoise were left utterly battered, while Liena, on the other hand, was in much better shape. They were both happy and worried, saying, over 10 years have passed in the blink of an eye, and Nana, you're so formidable now. They were delighted. Alice, we're truly old. We've watched you grow up to be able to beat us up. They felt a pang of sadness. Liena grinned, that's because you two grandfathers feel sorry for me and can't bear to hit me. Ha ha ha. The two laughed. Go back, you gave us two old bones a good beating today. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 55, Girls Who Love to Laugh Will Never Have Bad Luck. Halfway through, the two suddenly saw the reward prompt of Yi Lingling in their minds. Liena's face was full of smiles, and Qian Renxue's eyes almost turned red with envy. Oh my god. Yi Lingling actually directly obtained the 20th level of soul power? Even if there is no 100,000-year soul ring and soul bone, it is still a reward that makes people envious. Damn it. Qian Renxue glared at Liena fiercely. She was blaming this little fox for not telling her the second and third hidden tasks. Until they returned to the prince's mansion, Qian Renxue changed into pajamas and lay down on the bed like a sulking little wife, and ignored Liena at all. Liena changed into pajamas and threw herself on the bed, stretched out her arms to hug Qian Renxue's soft and slender waist, leaned over and whispered in her ear, "Hey. What's wrong?" Like a bullied little wife, Qian Renxue didn't say a word. Liena muttered, "How? You just want to know how to get the reward. It's not that I won't tell you, but you won't be able to get it even if I tell you." "Why?" Qian Renxue asked angrily. Liena was also helpless. "You saw it yourself. Only Lingling and I have received the reward. Even Du Yuan didn't succeed. That's because we are his girlfriend. Even if you knew, could you do what we can do?" Qian Renxue said nothing, her mind wandering. Liena hugged Qian Renxue tightly, whispering, "The spirit hall is my home. You are my sister, and the teacher is my mother. I will not let anyone destroy my home, nor will I allow anyone to hurt you. Tang San, I will definitely kill him." "Well, you better be careful." Qian Renxue remembered the last time they slept together like this. It was very early in the morning, and that time was still in the spirit hall. It was a quiet night. They could hear each other's breathing and feel each other's emotions. Qian Renxue suddenly asked, "Nana, do you remember our first meeting?" Liena, recalling the past, pinched Qian Renxue's plump breasts and said, "Of course I do. Back then, in the Pope's palace, you looked at me with eyes as if you wanted to eat me up." Qian Renxue murmured, "She's never hugged me like that before." Liena said gently, "It's okay. Everything will be fine. We will, and so will the teacher." Qian Renxue whispered after a moment, "Nana, thank you for visiting me all these years." Liena stroked Qian Renxue's tender white belly. She knew Qian Renxue was just stubborn, saying things she hated about Bibi Dong, but she knew that every time she secretly came to Qian Renxue to tell her about Bibi Dong, Qian Renxue took it very seriously. Another night. Another night filled with jealousy as she waited for her reward. Just like always. Everyone waited patiently for their reward. Suddenly, they saw the diary copy notification, which indicated Yi Lingling's 20-level soul power upgrade. Everyone's mentality collapsed. Is there a possibility that this isn't Liena's problem, but the diary copy's problem? Many of them began to persuade their diary copies in their hearts, Book, you are already a mature book. You must learn to fight for rewards for your master yourself. You can't always look at your master, jealous beyond recognition." Although everyone was envious and jealous in their hearts, they really didn't know Su Chen, they really didn't know who Su Chen was, and where they should go to find him to get rewards. Ding. Diary. Record the beautiful life of time travel. Rewards. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward. The age of all soul rings increases by 1,000 years. Congratulations to the host for receiving the random reward. Soul power increases by 1 level, 22nd level. Su Chen paid no attention and continued studying spirit fusion techniques with Yi Lingling. Yi Lingling was originally a support spirit master, much weaker than Liena. She wasn't as formidable as Liena's spirit. Even her 9-hearted begonia emperor, of which she was so proud, couldn't help her. Instance rewards. Congratulations to Wu for having the most mentions in her diary. Reward, increase the age of all spirit rings by 1,000 years. Congratulations to Yi Lingling for having her name randomly selected in her diary. Reward, increase your spirit power by 1 level. Congratulations to Liu Erlong for being the lucky viewer who can customize a diary theme once. Yi Lingling had just closed her eyes to rest when she suddenly saw the rewards in her mind's eye and was instantly overjoyed. Although her current spirit power was stuck at level 50 and she hadn't yet obtained a spirit ring, her actual level had already reached level 68. Now, with another reward, she would be level 69. Amazing. Is this what it feels like to cheat? Sister Nana, please unlock more hidden rewards in the future. Su Chen, love me again. 9-hearted begonia emperor martial soul fusion technique, blowing the flute to beg, blazing fire academy. Wu happily leaped off her bed, dancing with joy, the room ablaze with spring light. I finally succeeded. She unleashed her martial soul, purple. So refreshing. Wu couldn't suppress her joy. Even though she was nothing compared to Liena, even though she was nothing compared to Yi Lingling, she was content. This was enough to make her hold her chin high in Blazing Fire Academy. None of her classmates were capable of fighting. A girl who loves to laugh can't be too unlucky, ha ha ha. Just like Wu. Blue Tyrant Academy. Liu Erlong also happily leaped off her bed, equally excited. wiggling her hips and dancing with joy, revealing her spring light. Compared to Ho Wu's curvaceous figure, Liu Erlong's was far more unflattering. Her aura of a young woman was far beyond Ho Wu's reach. Ha ha ha, I'm just lucky. A young woman who loves to laugh can't be too unlucky. Last time, I had a great opportunity to ask that bastard Uzia gang. This time, I'm going to increase the age of all my spirit rings by 1,000 years. Last time, being the lucky audience member had completely shattered Uzia gang's image in her mind, and then she had to watch Bibi Dong take the prize. That was worse than killing her. Her eyes were swollen from crying that day. This time, Liu Erlong was going to live for herself. Uzia gang, Bibi Dong? None of her business. Tomorrow, I'll let that little bastard Su Chen write about me. Liu Erlong clenched her fists secretly at this thought. At the same time, her mind flashed back to Su Chen's handsome face and those cold fists. She couldn't help but shudder at the thought. The feeling of the cold air entering her body was truly unpleasant. Damn bastard, ever since she was beaten by Su Chen last time and the coldness entered her body, she has been in great pain since her period came. This made Liu Erlong feel uneasy. Did that bastard Su Chen do it on purpose? If it hurts like this again next time, she will find him to take responsibility. Chapter 56 It's so good to be young. Shrek. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing stared at each other. Hey, is our luck so bad? Why don't we get picked? Waiting for daily rewards. Waiting for others to get rewards. Xiao Wu and the other two were basically the latter. Oh. Xiao Wu even managed to get a carrot once, but Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing were miserable. Nothing. Zhu Zhuqing looked at them and asked, how many people do you think have a copy of the diary? This, Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were a little confused, and began to calculate in their minds. Zhu Zhuqing shook her head and said, I mean, how many people do you think there are, not how many people have been mentioned in the diary rewards. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were even more confused. Oh, this, how are we supposed to know? Zhu Zhuqing thought for a moment, then said to the two, let me tell you my guess. Can you help me figure it out? So, Liena is a genius from the Spirit Academy, Du Yan and Yu Lingling are geniuses from the Heaven Dao Academy, and Ho Wu is a genius from the Blazing Fire Academy. Under normal circumstances, the three of us would join Shrek. Can we be sure that the talented girls from each academy have a chance to obtain a copy of the diary? And then there's Bibi Dong, Liu Erlong, Tang Yuhua, all these outstanding women have a chance to obtain a copy of the diary. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong looked pained, their heads aching, as if they were about to grow brains. So, what are you trying to say, Zhuqing? Zhu Zhuqing held her forehead and shook her head, sighing. She felt a little too exhausted to complain. You said Ning Rongrong was the little princess of the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect, spoiled from childhood, so it's understandable that she's immature. You, Xiao Wu, 100,000-year-old rogue rabbit, don't you have any brains at all? How did you survive until now? Zhu Zhuqing was naturally different from them, having grown up in a different environment. Even as she rose to become the continent's top healer, she had also developed a brain. What I mean is, there might be more people who possess the diary copy than we imagined. If possible, we need to do something to improve our competitiveness. Xiao Wu, Rongrong is the little princess of the Seven Treasures glazed tile sect. It's fine if she doesn't work hard, but don't you know how to work hard? Do you want to be slaughtered for spirit rings? Zhu Zhuqing now believed that her sister Zhu Zhuqing was very likely to possess the diary copy as well. If so, it would be terrible. Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong's face turned grim. How did that damn Liu Erlong get the lucky audience again? And that nine-hearted begonia girl, surprisingly, also completed 2 hidden tasks after Nana and obtained level 20 spirit power. Since she's Nana's family, she could be recruited to join the Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong sat on her bed in her pajamas, lost in thought. Although Su Chen didn't write it in his diary, Yu Lingling's spirit had definitely evolved. If it hadn't, given Su Chen's style, he'd have been snarling. What new abilities would the evolved nine-hearted begonia possess? Su Chen said he'd visit Zuir tonight. He didn't know what he'd say, but it didn't matter. Whether Zuir knew or not, she knew everything now. Wait? That bastard Su Chen knew so many secrets. Was he trying to threaten Zuir? Damn it. A thought suddenly crossed Bibi Dong's mind. Miss Qian Renxue. You don't want your undercover identity to be discovered, do you? Bibi Dong felt a little frantic at the thought. But then she thought about it, it shouldn't be the case. After all, Su Chen had Nana by his side. Nana and Zuir had always been close, and she wouldn't let him do that. What a close call. Closing her eyes, Bibi Dong suddenly thought of Yuzhia Gang. According to Su Chen's plan, he would travel from Xiandao City to Suado City tomorrow, specifically to teach him a lesson. This? Although her obsession was no longer affecting her, Bibi Dong still felt a pang of reluctance when she thought of Su Chen's plan to cripple Yuzhia Gang. Never mind, Bibi Dong sighed and fell asleep. From now on, they'd just be strangers. She would have Nana and Zuir, and that was enough for her life. The next day, in the Xiandao City branch hall, Su Chen got up from his bed and stretched himself, unable to help but sigh, another day of lack of energy. He picked up Yi Lingling, who lay like a kitten in bed, and said gently, "Little lazy cat, it's time to get up. We're going out to play today." "Yes," Yi Lingling replied softly, a little shyly, "then turn around first." "I'll be up soon," Su Chen laughed. "What? You asked me to love you again last night, and now you're shy again." Yi Lingling blushed and remained silent. Not long after, Su Chen brought Yi Lingling out. The spirit hall people had already arranged everything, and they were still using the high-speed carriage. Zhuqing also appeared with Ziyu and the others, and greeted them with a smile. "It's been a while since we last met. Have you found a new girlfriend? It's great to be young." Haha. Su Chen looked at the other person's smile and felt a little uneasy. "Big brother, do you dare to say to me, it's so cool to eat a peach?" Su Chen smiled and said, "I'll pick up Liena later, and then we'll go out for a few days. As for Lingling's family, I'll trouble you." "Seniors," Yu Guan nodded, took 2 steps forward and asked, "I haven't seen you these past few days. I didn't know how your fight with that old poisoner turned out." Su Chen said calmly, "Of course I won." "Ha ha ha." Guan Yu laughed happily, turned around and said, "Old ghost, send someone to arrange the Yi family's affairs. I'll go talk to that old poisoner, and then we'll go back to Wuhan City together." Su Chen also waved to Gimli, Ziyu, and Yan, took Yi Lingling to the carriage, and headed towards the prince's mansion. Yan's expression was complicated. He watched Su Chen's departing back, puzzled for a long time. Bang! Ziyu slapped Yan on the head and said unhappily, "What are you looking at? Why are you also attracted to Su Chen's handsomeness?" Ahem. Yan choked and said unhappily, "What nonsense are you talking about? I just can't understand what it is about Su Chen that can make Nana so infatuated with him, and the successor of the 9-hearted begonia is also like him, idiot." Ziyu cursed angrily, "You didn't understand just now, right? Su Chen can even defeat a titled Douluo. If you had the strength of a titled Douluo now, who wouldn't look up to you? Forget about finding a few outstanding girlfriends, I would have no problem being your girlfriend." Yan sighed heavily and said seriously, "Nana is worthy of being the girl I liked. She has good taste." Gimli glanced at the two of them and said lightly, "All right, let's get back to work. That girl Yi Lingling is also Su Chen's lover. Escorting her family to Wuhan City and settling them down properly will help you win over Su Chen in the future. Doing this well will be a great achievement." Chapter 57. 2 old men in a drama. At the Crown Prince's mansion, Qian Renxue and Liena were already waiting outside. Although they were parting this morning, Qian Renxue and Liena hadn't spoken much last night. They simply embraced each other and slept peacefully. Silence speaks volumes. "Su Chen?" Liena waved happily upon seeing him approach. Su Chen, leading Yi Lingling out of the car, smiled and nodded, then called out to Qian Renxue, "Greetings, Your Highness the Crown Prince." Qian Renxue nodded slightly, "Young Master Su, you're welcome. I've had some pastries prepared for you to enjoy on the way." "Okay," Su Chen nodded, helping Yi Lingling and Liena into the car. Qian Renxue was now Zhuqing, so there were no more farewells between them. Liena waved from the car, "Your Highness the Crown Prince, if you have time, remember to visit me in Wuhan City." "Okay," she smiled and agreed, but deep down, she was deeply reluctant to leave. Su Chen also boarded the carriage, waving, "Your Highness, goodbye." At the same time, Su Chen whispered, "Qian Renxue, be cheerful, don't stress yourself out. If anything happens, send someone to notify me. I'll come no matter how far away it is." Qian Renxue's heart trembled as she listened to Su Chen's voice transmission. Before the carriage had even departed, she hurried back toward the Crown Prince's residence. Because, the tears in her eyes could no longer be held back. At that moment, She even had a thought, if everything hadn't happened, would she have been happier if she had left with Su Chen? Unfortunately, there were no ifs. She had worked so hard for so many years, she couldn't just give up. She had to protect the spirit hall and not let her grandfather down. Perhaps Su Chen's last words were enough. Qian Renxue held back her tears and began to rethink her plans. In the carriage, Su Chen, with Qian Renxue in hand, had someone prepare food. He then took a small flask of wine, took a sip, and sighed, "The world's ups and downs are born of our generation. Once we enter the martial arts world, time rushes us along, the imperial ambitions are discussed and laughed at, but life's drunkenness is no match. Where there are people, there's the martial arts world. Where there's the martial arts world, there's grudges. People are the martial arts world." This echoed his promise to Qian Renxue. He had originally been reluctant to intervene in the affairs of the Xiandao imperial family, but after meeting Qian Renxue, he decided to intervene. Liena looked at Su Chen, silent for a moment, and asked, "What is the martial arts world?" Su Chen replied calmly, "It's this world of power, money, and profit." Yilingling thoughtfully handed Su Chen a piece of cake. At Xiandao Imperial Academy, Du Yan was waiting for him at the entrance, accompanied by Fei Hengheng and a number of his classmates. Douluo had also come early to see his granddaughter off, accompanied by someone else, Zhu Zhuqing. Nothing unexpected had happened. While Su Chen might have a harder time finding Douluo, Zhu Zhuqing had an easier time, finding him quickly and precisely. Yo, Zhu Zhuqing said sarcastically upon arriving. "Old poisonous creature, it's been a while since we last met, and you've already broken through to level 93. That's truly cause for celebration." Douluo's face darkened upon seeing the dead chrysanthemum. "Zhu Zhuqing, what evil spirit has brought you here, you, Yuguan?" Hearing Douluo call him Zhu Zhuqing, instantly became furious. "Huh? I heard that Douluo, a dignified title Douluo, was defeated by an 18-year-old. I was afraid you'd be upset, so I came to comfort you." Douluo's expression hardened, and he turned to Yuguan. "How did you know, yo? He really was defeated. You weren't hurt, were you? If you were, I'd be heartbroken," Yuguan said, his characteristic chrysanthemum-like aura sarcastically, disgusting Douluo. However, Douluo wasn't angry, but simply said calmly, "You want to laugh at me, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I, Douluo, am inferior in skill, and I accept defeat with all my heart, eh?" Yuguan looked puzzled. Did this old idiot really have any shame? He actually accepted it so calmly. Off to the side, Yu Xianheng had no interest in listening to the two-titled Douluo bickering. His heart was completely focused on Du Guyan. "Yanzi, why are you taking a leave of absence? We all agreed to compete in the Continental Spirit Master competition together and win first place." He hadn't known what was going on, but when the teacher announced Du Guyan's suspension, he was truly worried. Douluo and Yuguan exchanged a glance, pausing their argument, but the atmosphere remained tense. "Swallow," Su Chen waved and called to Du Guyan. "Yes." Du Guyan quickly stepped forward and said, "I'm ready. We can set off." Su Chen nodded, looking at Douluo and Yuguan and asking, "Senior Yuguan, why did you just turn around and run here?" "Senior Douluo, I'm taking Swallow with me today. Don't worry. I'm here to keep her safe." Yuguan smiled and said, "Nothing. I was just catching up with an old friend." Douluo snorted at Yuguan and looked at Su Chen. Yan is in your care from now on. Take good care of her. I've spoiled her like that." With that, Douluo gave Yuguan a look. "You idiot. I have a granddaughter." Yuguan's face darkened, and for a moment, he was filled with resentment. He'd actually been outmaneuvered by that bastard Douluo? No. Suddenly, he understood and waved to Liena. Seeing this, Liena walked over and called softly, "Grandpa Zhu." Yuguan said with a smile on his face, "Nana, Grandpa will not accompany you when he goes back, so be careful on the road." After that, he looked back at Douluo. "I have a granddaughter too. Although she is not my biological child, I have watched her grow up since she was a child. I treat her as my granddaughter, and she treats me as her grandfather. Isn't it the same? You, Douluo, are so proud." "How?" Douluo chuckled and waved to Yilingling. Yilingling also walked over and called out, "Grandpa Douluo." Douluo said with a smile, "Lingling, Yanayan is a naive girl. When I'm not around, remember to take good care of her, Douluo. This is also my granddaughter." Chapter 58. How can I live without you, Yanzi? For a moment, Su Chen watched the two old men vying for attention in silence. Alright, Yanzi, say goodbye to your grandfather and your friends, and we'll be leaving. Du Guyan nodded emphatically, turned, and threw herself into Du Gubo's arms, sobbing, Grandpa, you must remember what Su Chen said, or I'll never forgive you. Du Gubo caressed Du Guyan's head lovingly and said, Grandpa knows what's going on. Say hello to your classmates and let's go. Yes. Du Guyan walked towards Yu Xianheng, Shimo, and her teacher, Qin Ming, and said apologetically, we had agreed to participate in the Soul Master competition together, but now I'm leaving with Lingling. Yi Lingling stood quietly by, silent. She was usually quiet and didn't interact much with the others. It was because of Du Guyan that she had chosen to team up with him. Qin Ming jokingly said, Swallow, don't feel burdened. Strive to improve yourself and pursue your own happiness, haha. Several students laughed. Anyone with a discerning eye could tell something was amiss with Su Chen and Du Guyan. And then there was Yi Lingling. Seeing his teacher's joke, Yu Xianheng added a joking remark, Swallow, it's a good thing you didn't accept me, otherwise I'd have wasted your life. Du Guyan laughed too, departing feeling less heavy. Then we'll all remain good friends. Teacher Qin Ming, we're leaving. Qin Ming waved. Take care. Su Chen and the others boarded the carriage, and Du Guyan followed suit. Yu Xianheng couldn't help but step forward and ask, Swallow, will we meet again? Du Guyan glanced at Yu Xianheng and said, yes, we're still classmates and friends. Then, looking at Su Chen, she said, let's go. Su Chen looked peculiar, a faint feeling that something was about to happen. Sure enough. Yu Xianheng forced a smile and said, Swallow, you must be happy when we meet again. You must be happy, okay, be happy, be happy. As the carriage began to move, Yu Xianheng hurried beside it, continuing, I'll no longer be in your world. It doesn't matter. Swallow, be happy, Swallow. The carriage moved further and further away. Yu Xianheng shouted, Swallow, be happy, Swallow, Swallow, how can I live without you? Swallow, Swallow. Su Chen turned around, his eyes complicated as he looked at Yu Yunpeng, who was chasing after him. Ugh, Yu Xianheng. He wondered if he had the wrong script. For a moment, he wondered if he had just picked up the wrong script. Su Chen couldn't help but sing a song of suspense. I advocate letting it go if you can't stop it. This is the struggle between desire and despair. Yuan likes to pass on the door. Before leaving she turned off the lights. So funny. Liena, Yi Lingling, and Du Guyan had big question marks in their minds. Su Chen looked at the three of them and asked, is it good? The three of them had complicated expressions and muttered, why does it feel weird? Last time Yan was hammering a tree in the woods, you also sang. Su Chen smiled, leaned his body and rested his head on Liena's leg on the left, and put his leg on Yi Lingling's leg on the right, and said calmly, I'm not singing, I'm just filling the gap of no BGM. There is no shortage of bootlickers everywhere in the love continent. Liena placed a hand on Su Chen's cheek and said, that guy named Yu Xianheng, why do I feel so much like that guy Yan? Yi Lingling and Du Guyan were confused, they didn't know who Yan was. Su Chen said calmly, I can't say they were exactly alike, I can only say they're both good friends of Fiangang. Oh, the three people who had read the diary also knew what Fiangang represented, a lickspittle. Du Guyan's expression darkened. After a moment's hesitation, she asked, Su Chen, is my grandfather supposed to be okay? Su Chen stood up and sat beside Du Guyan, comforting her, don't worry. Your grandfather has a free and easy personality and doesn't like to be restrained. He stayed in Xiandao because Zhu Zhuqing saved him, and he's almost repaid the favor over the years. Yeah, Du Guyan replied softly. Su Chen patted Du Guyan, rest for a while, we still have a long way to go. Du Guyan nodded and suddenly moved aside, indicating that Su Chen could rest on her lap as well. Oh. Su Chen understood and did not refuse, leaning over and lying on Du Guyan's long legs. It is worth mentioning that Du Guyan was wearing a short skirt and no stockings on her legs. It was another different kind of enjoyment. Fleshy and soft. Su Chen could clearly feel the warmth on her legs. Liena and Yi Lingling sat opposite, watching the two of them quietly, and they were not surprised at all. After all, Du Guyan was willing to follow, which proved that she liked Su Chen, and they would get together sooner or later. Liena also casually leaned over and lay on Yi Lingling's legs, muttering, Lingling, your legs are so cold and soft, and it's quite comfortable to rest your head on them. No wonder Su Chen likes them so much, your stockings are so smooth. They must feel very comfortable to touch, and you must give me a purr later. Yi Lingling blushed and lowered her head without saying a word. The carriage had seats on both sides, which Su Chen was very dissatisfied with. He secretly decided that when he returned to Wuhan City, he would build a king-size bedroom, PFFT, a carriage with a king-size bed. Today is another day of discontent. I'm leaving for Suado City with Liena, Yi Lingling, and Du Guyan. I don't know if that scumbag Yu Zhigang has arrived yet. I won't have to wait for him in Suado City, will I? Oh my god. How dare he? If that scumbag dares to make me wait for him in Suado City, I will definitely smash his cunt into 18 pieces, leaving no blood on each one. The trip to Xiandao City was still very satisfying, but I felt a little sorry for Du Gubo. Not only did I destroy his herb garden, but I also kidnapped his granddaughter. Su Chen had been resting his eyes when he opened them to look at Du Guyan. He happened to meet her gaze, and she was looking back at him. For a moment, Du Guyan's pretty face flushed. Su Chen pretended to close his eyes and continued writing in his diary. Du Guyan, that girl, was actually peeking at me. How? Liena, who was lying across from him, suddenly laughed out loud. Su Chen, Su Chen. The car is full of old people who could see your diary. Du Guyan felt even more embarrassed. If you found out, then so be it. Why did you write it down in your diary? How will Liena and the others see me? Am I losing face? Huh? Today's diary entry is about Liu Erlong. Good boy. I remember that this grumpy little dragon got beaten up by me last time. I guess she still hates me. That frost power was not easy to bear that day. My 100 years of power must have made her suffer. Speaking of this, I have to complain. Zuanho and Floor. No, I should be thanking Zuanho and Floor. If my strength were in the perfect world, wouldn't that little guy kill me with a single finger? Chapter 59, Can't Understand. Landby Academy. Liu Erlong saw the diary update and cursed inwardly. It was more than just uncomfortable. She felt Su Chen enter her body right then and there, the icy aura forcing her to squeeze her legs together and cover herself with an extra blanket at night. It was infuriating. That icy aura lingered within her. Just wait, if I'm still in excruciating pain this month, I'll definitely come find you. Speaking of Liu Erlong, she's actually quite admirable. Despite her hot temper, she hates evil and has a lively and cheerful personality, the kind who dares to love and hate. Similarly, Liu Erlong is a pitiful woman. Her life could have been better, but like Bibi Dong, it was ruined by the scumbag Yu Zhigang. When writing about Liu Erlong, I can't help but call Yu Zhigang a scumbag. It's not your fault you're a waste, but it's your fault you became one. When you discovered Liu Erlong's background, you shouldn't have been so selfish and irresponsible. You should have faced the facts bravely, clarified your relationship with Liu Erlong, and brought her together with your good brother, Flender. You can't be with her for the rest of your life. Flender loves Liu Erlong so much, he will definitely be able to take good care of her. Isn't it enough for you to let her live a happy life? From the people I've seen so far, he's not as good as Yan and Yu Xianheng, the two hot sheep. Okay, I was wrong. If Yu Zhigang hadn't been so weak and selfish, he wouldn't have become a scumbag. Blue Bull Academy. Liu Erlong's expression became a little complicated when she saw this. Last time, she had cried her tears dry and her eyes were swollen. Now, looking back at these things, her emotions were not so excited. As for Flender, Liu Erlong knew that he had always loved her and he was a good man. If Yu Zhigang had faced it bravely, perhaps he wouldn't have ended up with Flanders, but he might have found the right person and avoided all these years of suffering. Spirit Hall. Seeing this, Bibi Dong thought of Yan, the boy who had always been fond of Liena. She didn't know Yu Xianheng. Bibi Dong knew Yan. If Liena had faced the same fate as herself, Yan would never have vanished without a trace. He would have gone after Liena, even if it meant sacrificing his life. And that was only because Yan was a lickspittle. It wasn't a two-way street. How? Bibi Dong chuckled self-deprecatingly. Although she hated to admit it, she had to put the label of blind Douluo on the line. Liu Erlong was Yu Luomian's illegitimate daughter. Her mother was naturally a disgraceful existence. Raised outside by Yu Luomian since childhood, her mother's lifelong wish was simply to enter the Yu family and be accepted. Not to be a wild woman. Given Liu Erlong's achievements after his spirit transformation, it should have been no problem for his mother to enter the Yu family through her son's status. Yet, such a ridiculous plot twist is truly incomprehensible. The story begins with Yu Xiaogang's humiliating departure from the spirit hall. Of course, Yu Xiaogang was a wise man. He knew that even if Jin's Unji truly killed him, the Blue Tyrant family wouldn't stand up for him, considering he was a level 29 worthless person. So, he simply fled. After leaving the spirit hall, Yu Xiaogang met Flanders. The two of them journeyed together through the spirit master world. While hunting a spirit beast, they encountered Liu Erlong. Later, Flanders and Yu Xiaogang both fell in love with Liu Erlong. The details of their relationship remain unknown, but they developed a spirit fusion technique and became known as the Golden Triangle within the spirit master world. Liu Erlong was a straightforward woman. Once, when Flanders confessed his love for her, she called both Flanders and Yu Xiaogang to her and told them that she loved Yu Xiaogang. Flanders later gave their blessing, and they planned to marry. As for the outcome, I've already written about it. Yu Xiaogang ultimately escaped on their wedding day. The devastated Liu Erlong was practically possessed by a demon. She had once slaughtered an entire forest of soul beasts, her killing spree uncontrollably. Even the smallest evil that struck her was left with no chance of survival. Think about it, even with Liu Erlong so bewildered, Yu Xiaogang didn't show up. Instead, it was Flanders who sought her out and constantly consoled her, ultimately allowing her to control her murderous tendencies and establish Blue Scepter Academy, bringing peace back to the land. Even more outrageous, later, under the persuasion of the little punk, Yu Xiaogang and Liu Erlong actually became a spiritual couple. This is a fucking human act, and it strikes me as idiotic no matter how I look at it. It would be fine if no one knew about it at first. Suddenly, the expressions of the women who had read the diary's contents became complicated. Incomprehensible. In the car, Liena, Yi Lingling, and Du Yuyan were also bewildered. They felt the world was full of wonders. Tang San, Yu Xiaogang, and Liu Erlong were all truly bizarre. Luckily, Su Chen was in the carriage. Although the three of them were upset, they kept their composure. Otherwise, the three women could have chatted about this topic from Xiandao City to Soto City. Speaking of which, Shrek. A familiar plot, a different approach. Ma Hongjin's temper once again caused his girlfriend to break up with him. Originally, Tang San and Xiao Wu had beaten up Ma Hongjin, the evil firegrass chicken. Now, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing's relationship was vaguely superior to Tang San's, and the three of them spent time together day and night. But today, Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing had given Ma Hongjin a brutal beating. If Daimyo Bei hadn't arrived in time, Ma Hongjin would have been left with only the evil firegrass. What? You ask where the chicken went? Of course, it was nearly gone. Xiao Wu and the other two were stunned after reading the diary entries. A spiritual couple? They were quite the show. Ning Rongrong couldn't help but mutter, Xiao Wu, does your third brother have a mental problem? How could he persuade them to become a spiritual couple? Either they choose to be together regardless of everything, or they should keep their distance. Zhu Zhuqing nodded in agreement. Chapter 60 Liena wants to quibble. Ah, this, Xiao Wu asked, bewildered. Shouldn't it be, back in Holy Soul Village, when I first read Su Chen's story about brother-sister romance, about Tang Yuho and Tang Dachu, as well as Liu Erlong and Yu Xiaogang, I even asked Tang San about it. He said it was morally corrupt. Also, Rongrong, can you just talk to Tang San instead of third brother? I'm feeling a bit weird. Third brother? That's obviously my third uncle. I suspect, Rongrong, you're playing tricks on me. Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing looked quizzical. That's not right, is it? If Tang San really didn't agree, why would he persuade them to become a spiritual couple? Xiao Wu shook her head. How could they now understand the double standards of the pure and innocent Tang Buddha? Hey, the dean is here. Xiao Wu suddenly saw Flender in the distance, and a flicker of panic flashed in her eyes. Ning Rongrong patted Xiao Wu's shoulder and said, don't worry. Zhuqing asked me to find out last night. Dean Flender is only level 78. He's not a soul Douluo, so he can't tell your identity. That was close. Xiao Wu patted Little Bear. Meanwhile, the three of them also walked over and stood in a row with Tang San, Daimyo Bei, Oscar, and Ma Hongjin. Flender looked at the seven and said, this year is great. We have 4 more little monsters. I am Shrek Academy's Dean Flender. On behalf of the Academy, I welcome you. Later, each of you will pay 100 gold coins and go to Teacher Li, who is in charge of finances. Support-type soul masters are extremely dangerous if left unprotected, so escape is essential. Oscar, Ning Rongrong, if you can't finish your 20 laps before lunch, don't come back for lunch. Oscar's face froze, but he had no choice but to obey. Ning Rongrong turned to glance at Zhao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, then followed them into the jog. Halfway through the run, they were already halfway through. Oscar's affection for Ning Rongrong grew the more he looked at her. Unable to resist, he pulled out his giant sausage, attempting to help her recover, only to be knocked over by Ning Rongrong with a single punch. Tisk, just run slowly. At this point, Ning Rongrong was still a little witch, unconcerned with Flanders, and immediately headed off to Soto City for some shopping. Today would be her first day out in the world. She'd be teased and pampered by everyone, transforming from a proud little princess into the approachable Ning Rongrong. Of course, Ning Rongrong's personality wasn't all that bad. The Seven Treasures glazed tile sect was wealthy enough to rival a nation and one of the top 3 sects. She'd been pampered by Sword Douluo and Bone Douluo since childhood, so it was only natural for a proper little princess to have some princess syndrome. Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong also shook her head. Uzia gang, you and Liu Erlong really know how to play along. A spirit couple? You could even come up with that. But how would Su Chen deal with Uzia gang when he arrived in Soto City? Remember what he'd written before, about going to help Uzia gang and making him and Liu Erlong a spiritual couple? What would he do? And Nana? Bibi Dong knew Liena very well. Though kind-hearted, she could be ruthless due to her feelings for herself. After learning so much from the diary copy, she knew that even if Su Chen wouldn't be too harsh on Uzia gang, she definitely wouldn't let him go. That day, Ning Rongrong fell into her old ways. Harshly criticized and isolated by Flanders. Of course, Zhao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing had already opened up to her, so it wasn't that she was truly isolated. Instead, Flanders had taken her to Soto City, preparing for them to compete in the Great Soul Arena. Flanders' words only served to justify his criticism of her. Thus, Ning Rongrong and Oscar were left at the academy. Ning Rongrong didn't care. Her intention wasn't to be a good student, she was waiting for Su Chen's arrival. As for what Flanders said, Ning Rongrong paid no attention to the fact that several people in Shrek were more talented than her. Stronger? Haha. That's because you don't know Su Chen, and that's because you don't know who Liena and Yi Lingling. She still had the pride of a princess, but Su Chen had long since extinguished the pride of a genius. Night fell. Ning Rongrong sat at the entrance of Shrek, wondering about Su Chen. Where had he gotten to? He should have gone to Soto City. Would he have come directly to Shrek? Oh. That scumbag Uzia gang hadn't arrived yet. Oscar silently watched from afar, his dog-licking spirit awakening. Meanwhile, Su Chen and his group had already entered the city. Soto City was definitely not as good as Xiandao City. He sat by the window, gazing at the night view of Soto City. It was still quite lively. He just wondered if the Shrek plot had begun, and how far it had progressed. He couldn't leave too late. He was still thinking about kidnapping a cat maid. Such a busty cat. The thought of it was exciting. Su Chen, Liena suddenly sat down, wanting to speak but hesitant. What's wrong? Su Chen glanced at Liena with some confusion, wondering what the little fox had been thinking all day on the road. Liena held back her words, finally saying, actually, I'm keeping a secret from you. If you find out later, don't blame me, okay? Du Yuan and Yi Lingling saw this and both looked at Liena. Was this a showdown? Su Chen smiled and jokingly said, it's okay. I have a secret too, you guard your secret well, and don't let me find out, or I'll punish you severely. Liena nodded and said seriously, since you don't mind, I'll make a small excuse. PFFT, I'll confess that I'm actually a deity. Wait, Liena hadn't finished her words when Su Chen suddenly called out, stop the car. Liena and the other two followed Su Chen's gaze, puzzled. In the distance, 5 figures, in black, white, blue, pink, and red, caught sight. Nearby sat a bespectacled, owlish-looking man. Liena's brows furrowed, and she couldn't help but say, 100,000-year soul beast. Yi Lingling and Du Yuan were also startled, looking at Liena with confusion. Su Chen, a bit bewildered, turned to Liena and asked, have you met Zhao Wu? Liena shook her head and began to explain, I just have argued with you. I'm actually the descendant of a deity. My teacher helped me find that deity. I've passed several trials and am now an 80th level soul Douluo. Liena couldn't hide this. Sooner or later, she would have to reveal her strength to Su Chen. What did you say? Su Chen was completely stunned. What the hell? You, Liena, are the biggest problem. Are you more powerful than me? Liena said seriously. You said that I should keep my secret, so I am the inheritor of the gods. I have passed several tests now, and I am very strong. Oh. Su Chen looked at Liena with a strange expression, and wondered in his heart. Liena would never have thought of the reason of inheritance from the gods. It seems that Bibi Dong is involved. Chapter 61. You have already seeked death. Su Chen, are you still going down? They seem to be leaving, Yilingling warned. I'll deal with you tonight, Su Chen said, then jumped off the carriage and headed towards the distant street. Liena glanced at Yilingling and Douluo with a guilty look, then hurriedly dismounted and followed. Douluo, carefree and unconcerned, didn't notice anything. Yilingling, however, noticed something was amiss. When Su Chen talked about keeping a secret, he was talking about you. The four of them headed towards the distant Flanders Shrek Five Devils. Su Chen led the way, Yilingling and Douluo followed. Liena, holding Su Chen's hand, whispered, "Who are those people, the main characters?" Su Chen replied casually, glancing at Zia Wu, a still-grown, rascally young woman whose looks and figure were average at this stage. Finally, his gaze settled on Zhu Zhuqing. Young and promising, with great ambitions. Some people are unmatched at a young age. At this moment, Zio Bizan and the others also looked over cautiously. Flanders was about to take them to the fighting arena, but he saw Su Chen, Liena, Yilingling, and Douluo walking straight towards them, their eyes always on them, obviously coming for them. Daimyo Bei didn't look at Liena and the other two because of Zhu Zhuqing's presence, but Ma Hongjian's eyes were almost staring straight at them. Liena, Yilingling, and Douluo were not inferior to Zia Wu, Zhu Zhuqing, and Ning Rongrong. Now because Zia Wu and the other two are young and have not developed yet, the charm of the two is very different. He walked up to them. Su Chen couldn't help but rub his hands and asked, "Excuse me, are you Flanders?" Flanders frowned, pushed up his glasses, and said, "Do you know me?" As he spoke, his gaze rested on Liena. Su Chen's spirit power was only in the 20s, and Flanders' true combat power was completely invisible. And Liena was a soul Douluo. Flanders recognized her instantly. This girl, 5 or 6 years older than Tang San and the others, actually possessed a higher spirit power level than himself? Impossible, absolutely impossible. Zio Wu and Zhu Zhuqing also instantly tensed. There was no doubt about it. They recognized Su Chen. An exceptionally handsome man, 3 stunningly beautiful women. This group must be Su Chen, Liena, Douluo, and Yilingling, the 4 from Xiandao City, as their looks were all extremely rare. Su Chen felt excited. It was like a fan meeting their idol. We had finally met in person. He greeted each person on the field one by one. "Hello, Pure and Chaste Tang Buddha, 3 matches a day, Daimyo Bei, Evil Fire Grass Chicken, Ma Hongjian, this is a verb, Charging for Love, Zhu Zhuqing, Shame of Soul Beasts, Hooligan Rabbit, why are there 2 more people missing?" Su Chen felt a little helpless to complain. Oscar had been the more normal one, but without him, it was as if he was specifically targeting them. Indeed. While Ning Rongrong could be described as a domineering little witch, she and Oscar were far superior to these people. For a moment, as Su Chen finished identifying the people, Tang San and the others on the field were all horrified. Tang San started with him, his eyes filled with venom, murderous intent rising. It wasn't that Tang San was cunning. It was that Su Chen had hid a sore spot. This world didn't have a Buddha, but Tang San's original martial arts world naturally had Shaolin and Buddha. Did this expose Tang San's greatest secret? "You've already met your end," Su Chen smiled politely. "Yes, we don't know each other yet, let me introduce myself. I'm the protagonist's nemesis, the destined villain, Su Chen." Flander and the others looked puzzled, somewhat confused. Su Chen explained kindly, "A destined villain is someone who bullies the protagonist for no reason and specifically opposes them. By the way, why don't I see you Zia Gang?" Flander's face changed, and he asked in confusion, "Do you know Zia Gang?" While Su Chen was speaking, Liena had already been quietly preparing herself in the background. If Flander hadn't been blocking her, she would have likely launched a sneak attack on Tang San. "You've already met your end." Douluo and Yilingling watched the others quietly, mentally analyzing Su Chen's diary. Who were these people? Tang Fozu was Tang San. Rogue rabbit was Xiao Wu. Su Chen hadn't mentioned the other three in his diary. Su Chen shook his head and said, I don't know him yet, but I'll get to know him better. Well, have you guys eaten yet? How about I treat you guys first? Su Chen was studying a book, The Villain's Self-Cultivation. Although Su Chen would bully them ruthlessly and do extreme things to them, he still had to be polite. As the villain who abused the protagonist, his idol was the civilized and cultured moon worshipper. Who are you? Do we know you? Should we go to dinner with you? If you know what's good for you, get out of here and don't make us angry, Ma Hongjin cursed from behind. This idiot was indeed a bit hot-tempered and had a bit of a temper. There was nothing he could do. In this Soto city, he wouldn't encounter any strong people. Flanders and Zhao Wuji from Shrek were already the most powerful people here. Su Chen raised his eyebrows and turned to Liena, saying, Go, give him a couple of slaps to teach him a lesson. Liena stepped forward. Flander was about to stop him, but Liena warned him, Do you want him to get slapped twice, or do you want him to have his legs broken? Flander stopped. Damn it, woman, don't think just because you're pretty, I'll snap. Liena raised her hand slightly and slapped her to the ground, stomping her high heel directly on his face. If you disrespect my boyfriend again, I'll crush your head, boss Dai. Ma Hongjin was stunned by the slap and called for backup. Before Daimubei could activate his martial spirit, Liena kicked him away. Bang! Daimubei flew several meters away, spitting out a mouthful of blood. Strong. Extremely strong. This was the impression Liena gave them all, even Flander, who was deeply shocked. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 62 You're a nice person. At this moment, Liena approached Xiao Wu. Tang San was about to step forward to stop her, but Xiao Wu stepped forward. What do you want to do? Liena reached out and rubbed her rabbit ears, a charming smile on her face. She sniffed gently and said, Rabbit is really fragrant. Xiao Wu was instantly startled and couldn't help but take 2 steps back. Tang San immediately stepped forward to stop her, ready to attack at any moment. If you want to hurt Xiao Wu, step over my body. At the same time, Tang San regretted that he had too few hidden weapons and too few sneak attacks. Given Liena's demonstrated strength, his current methods were probably far from enough. Liena's face lit up and she said, Tang San, that's what you said, step over your body? Huh. Double happiness. Just as she was about to attack, she was interrupted by Su Chen. Come back, Su Chen called out softly. Tang Dachu was still watching from the side. You want to step on his son's corpse? Are you afraid of a ring explosion? Then, Su Chen lectured Liena, who had returned. Why did you reward that fat guy just now, Liena? Ma Hongjin? Everyone? Don't reward others anymore. With that, Su Chen appeared beside Ma Hongjin in a flash and stomped hard on his leg. Crack! The kick caused him to scream heartbreakingly, sweat breaking out in pain. Flanders and the others on the field were also furious, on the verge of exploding. Sir, this is going too far. Today, Flanders. Su Chen looked at Flanders and interrupted. Nothing can be done. I'm a villain. I'm very petty. Just now, he kept staring at my girlfriend, which made me very upset. And he even scolded me. Is he always this brave? Oh, by the way, didn't you just start school today? Isn't Yu Zhigang here yet? Su Chen suddenly remembered the plot. It seemed that it was only on the first day that the 5 of them went out to the Great Soul Fighting Arena, and they had been together since then. Tang San and the others looked at Su Chen with hatred, but did not reply. If he hadn't seen from Flanders' caution that Su Chen and the others were not to be trifled with, Tang San would have sent Su Chen to the Western Paradise long ago. As for Flanders, he was also undecided, wondering who these people were and what their purpose was. Zhu Zhuqing said calmly, Today's the first day of school. Su Chen nodded slightly, walked forward, and reached out to grab Zhu Zhuqing's tail. Huh? Is it fake? Zhu Zhuqing blushed. Pretend, decoration, she was convinced. I'm not a real cat, how could I have a real tail? Su Chen said nothing more. He patted Zhu Zhuqing's shoulder and whispered, Once we're settled, I'll come back to talk to you in detail, little wildcat. With that, he fell silent. Su Chen walked back and said to the others, I apologize for the inconvenience today. We just arrived in Soto City. Once we're settled, I'll come back to you and explain to you what a destined villain is. Lingling, heal them both. Huh? Oh. Yi Lingling was stunned, but she listened to Su Chen's words and released her spirit to heal Ma Hongjin and Daimyo Bei. The petals of the nine-hearted begonia fell, and their injuries were instantly healed. Ma Hongjin, who had been sweating profusely from the pain, instantly felt his leg heal. The pain was gone. He even wondered, is this healing spirit master really that amazing? Ma Hongjin, you're actually quite nice. Su Chen fixed his gaze on Daimyo Bei and Ma Hongjin, saying seriously, she just treated your injuries. Shouldn't you say thank you? Say thank you, what? Daimyo Bei and Ma Hongjin's back teeth practically broke. We still need to say thank you, we thank your whole family. Thank you. Although they were furious, seeing Su Chen's serious attitude, they feared another leg breakage if they didn't say thank you. Let's go, Su Chen said calmly, and swaggered off with Liena and the other two. Flanders and the others were filled with hatred. Daimyo Bei gritted his teeth and asked, Dean, who is that bastard just now, so arrogant, so abominable? Ma Hongjin also cursed, damn it. I will definitely kill them. Tang San didn't say anything harsh, but in his heart, he had already labeled Su Chen and the other four as destined for death. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing, on the other hand, had mixed feelings. From the diary, they had originally imagined Su Chen as a dashing and elegant young man, but now, looking at him, he seemed more like an arrogant and domineering playboy. Of course. They had to praise him, so polite. Before leaving, he even healed Daimyo Bei and Ma Hongjin's injuries. You're so nice. Just because you healed their injuries, does that mean you didn't beat them? Flander, however, was filled with mixed emotions, his face solemn as he said, I don't know either. That woman is very strong, that Su Chen seems quite strong too. Although he only has level 22 spirit power, he just reached Ma Hongjin so quickly I couldn't react, and that healing spirit, it's very similar to the nine-hearted begonia. These people must be quite powerful, At this moment, Tang San's face suddenly darkened. He had a thought. Su Chen had mentioned Tang Buddha, what he had just unleashed wasn't a spirit skill at all, but rather a profound martial art. Could this person, like him, also be from that world? Damn it. This Su Chen boy must not be allowed to live. Tang San gritted his teeth. Death wasn't enough. He had to find a way to kill Su Chen as soon as possible. Flander glanced at the silent group and said, Today, let's all know that there are always people better than you. Don't be complacent just because you're naturally gifted. Let's continue on to the great soul fighting arena. Perhaps, we'll find out when Xiaogang arrives next. They returned to the carriage. Liena asked in surprise, Su Chen, why did you let Lingling treat them? Yi Lingling and Du Yuan also looked at Su Chen in confusion, completely unable to understand. Su Chen smiled faintly, we're not all here yet. If we start a fight now and scare them, what will happen if they run away? Besides, don't you think villains like us are polite and charming? Elegance never goes out of style. The three of them, Liena and the other two, were speechless. Of course. They had to admit that Su Chen's polite bullying and his demeanor as he treated them before leaving were truly charming and elegant. Oh, right. Su Chen suddenly looked at the three of them and asked, Do you think my bullying today is a bit unpleasant? Liena and the other two shook their heads slightly. Su Chen nodded in satisfaction and said, Okay. After Xiaogang arrives, I'll go even further. That will be a test for you three. The carriage continued on its way to the Rose Hotel. Su Chen, sitting in the car, saw this and was about to speak, but then he thought, I've missed the plot. Why are we staying at the Rose Hotel? Finally, the four of them arrived at the Soto City Martial Spirit Branch Hall. Liena's status made her a distinguished figure in every branch hall. It was time for dinner. Su Chen looked at Liena with a look of interest and asked, Tell me, what divine inheritance have you inherited that allows you to level up so quickly? Make it up. Make it up for me. If you can't come up with a good excuse today, I'll whip you tonight. Chapter 63, This is how it works in every industry, right? For a moment, Liena tensed at Su Chen's question. What god? Damn it. Su Chen knew the continent like the back of his hand. If she just randomly mentioned one, wouldn't that just give her away? Yi Lingling and Du Yuan stared at Liena silently. Their attitude was indifferent. Whether the book was revealed or not was fine, they'd obey their leader. Keep it secret, Liena finally uttered. Huh? Su Chen couldn't help but laugh. Perhaps Liena didn't notice anything, But Yi Lingling's feeling was growing more and more that something was amiss. Something was wrong with Su Chen. Liena said seriously, my position as a god is incredibly powerful. That's why it must be kept secret. No one can tell. Su Chen nodded, turned to Yi Lingling and Du Guyan, and said, you two should learn from this. Look, Nana already has a deity inheritance. They both grumbled inwardly. Are you talking about the buck god? Yi Lingling immediately said seriously, Su Chen, I haven't told you yet. I've also received a divine inheritance and begun the divine test. I have to keep it a secret. She glanced at Liena, trying to help her elder sister with her lie. Otherwise, when her level was revealed, she wouldn't be able to explain it. Du Guyan was stunned. You two are playing this game, right? Okay. Du Guyan continued her nonsense. Su Chen, I've also received a divine inheritance. Have you forgotten that my spirit ring has been upgraded to the millennium level? I'll keep it a secret too. Liena looked at the two young ladies, also very satisfied. Su Chen was now paralyzed. Okay. You're all playing this game with me, right? Su Chen said seriously, actually, I've also received a divine inheritance. If nothing unexpected happens, my divine power will be more powerful than yours. Similarly, my divine power must be kept secret. I'm a male divine power, and all of you are female. The four people on the field ate in silence. Su Chen had already confirmed that something was amiss with the three of them, and Yi Lingling had also confirmed Su Chen's situation. Liena and Du Guyan, however, were still in a state of confusion. At Shrek Academy, Ning Rongrong waited until the others returned, then hurried over to grab Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing. Why did you just come back? What were you doing? Xiao Wu hesitated. Zhu Zhuqing whispered, I'll tell you later. HMPH, Daimube sneered, a princess so high and mighty, why are you paying so much attention to her? Ning Rongrong's expression darkened, and she retorted, none of your business, you irresponsible, cowardly, and incompetent scumbag, you're courting death. Daimube had been simmering with anger after being kicked away by Liena today. Furthermore, Zhu Zhuqing's attitude towards Su Chen was unclear, and she ignored him completely. This left Daimube fuming, and he was just looking for a place to vent his anger. Just as he was about to strike, Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing stood in front of Ning Rongrong. Daimube, if you're brave enough, go fight Su Chen. What's the point of bullying Rongrong? Daimube gritted his teeth, his eyes filled with hatred. Damn it. How can these three women be so close? Tang San is such a loser. You clearly have a special relationship with Xiao Wu, yet this is so ridiculous. You actually let Xiao Wu be snatched away by Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing? Ning Rongrong asked in surprise. Su Chen? Huh? Daimube suddenly looked at Ning Rongrong. And Tang San and the others followed suit. Ning Rongrong looked as if she knew this person. Zhu Zhuqing hurriedly explained, Su Chen is someone we met today. He's accompanied by three women. One of them is extremely powerful, and another has healing spirit skills, somewhat like the legendary nine-hearted begonia. Zhu Zhuqing winked at Ning Rongrong. Oh, Ning Rongrong nodded, not daring to say anything more. Daimube's face darkened. Ning Rongrong, if you dare mess with me again, no matter who you are or who protects you, I will kill you. He turned and walked away. Ning Rongrong had never been so angry before, and was about to retort when Xiao Wu stopped her, saying, ignore him. Daimube has 3 sessions a day, Ning Rongrong asked, puzzled. What do you mean 3 sessions a day? Xiao Wu explained, he said that when we met Su Chen today. As for the 3 sessions, Su Chen didn't mention it, but think about it, when we first met him, he went to the hotel with those 2 women in his arms. It definitely wasn't a good thing, huh? Xiao Wu suddenly said to Zhu Zhuqing, Zhuqing, what do you mean by charge for love? What? She had risked her life to come all the way from the Star Luo Empire for love. Who would have thought? Daimube was living a life of luxury here, not having enough to sleep with one woman at a time? It was clearly a mockery of her. Tang San didn't say anything. Seeing the conversation had come to this point, he quietly left and entered the academy. He was afraid. Pure and innocent Tang Buddha. How to explain it? The key is that he is averse to the word Buddha. It represents something from another world, a secret hidden deep within him. If anyone were to discover it, they would face certain death. Seeing Tang San quietly leave, Zhu Zhuqing whispered, Xiao Wu, you've known Tang San for so long. Do you know what pure and innocent Tang Buddha means? Xiao Wu shook her head. Ning Rongrong asked curiously, he gave each of you a nickname, You did, Xiao Wu. Oh, Xiao Wu glanced at Ning Rongrong with resentment. Zhu Zhuqing said calmly, the shame of soul beasts, the rogue rabbit. Ning Rongrong couldn't help but laugh, causing Xiao Wu to roll her eyes. Where's that fat guy, evil firegrass chicken, Ma Hongjin? Ning Rongrong, pulling Xiao Wu and the other two back to the academy, muttered, if I'd known, I'd have gone with him too, to see what nickname he could give me. Tell me what happened. The three of them chatted as they walked. That night, Soto City Branch Hall. Liena came to Du Yuyan's room, and Du Yuyan stood up nervously. Du Yuyan knew Lingling's personality, but she was still unsure about Liena's character. She didn't understand why Liena suddenly came to see her. Could it be a warning? Liena asked with a smile on her face. Yanzi, do you want to switch rooms with your sister tonight? Huh? Du Yuyan said with a confused look on her face. Swallow, do you want to switch rooms with your sister tonight? Huh? Du Yuyan said with a confused look on her face. Swallow, of course. Su Chen is in your room. Du Yuyan's face flushed instantly, and she whispered, no. No need, Su Chen and I haven't reached that stage yet, but thank you, Sister Nana. Seeing this, Liena didn't force it. She said, then let's talk when you are ready. I'll go back to rest first. Liena left Du Yuyan's room and was about to look for Lingling when she found that her room door was closed and the lights were off. This little girl is going to bed so early. Just as she was about to leave, she suddenly heard the faint sound of a martial soul fusion technique from inside. Good fellow. You, Lingling, look so honest, but you actually took advantage of me being out to sneak in? Liena was also impressed. You are just an auxiliary soul master. I wonder if you can handle this. Late at night. Waiting for rewards as usual. Waiting for others to receive rewards as usual. Liena was just about to go to bed after watching the rewards being distributed, when suddenly a figure pushed the door open and sneaked in. Tisk, Liena snorted in annoyance. Su Chen quickly walked over, hugged her in his arms, and asked, is my little fox jealous? Liena muttered, what's there to be jealous about? You bastard took advantage of me being out for a while and ran into Lingling's room. Su Chen comforted Liena, saying, Lingling's spirit is too weak, so I went to finish my training with her first. Then we can practice spirit fusion techniques all night long. Then you better be careful, don't get defeated by us. That's hilarious, my second brother is invincible. You two little Karamis, I can kill them with my Azure Dragon Crescent Blade. Ding. Diary, record your wonderful time traveling. Reward distribution, congratulations to the host for receiving the reward. All spirit rings have their age increased by 1,000 years. Congratulations to the host for receiving the random reward. Tai Chi. Chapter 64. So you are very brave. Huh? Su Chen paused, feeling a bit bewildered. Why did the reward change? Liena was also puzzled at this moment, wondering why the scoundrel Su Chen had suddenly stopped. What new reward had he received? Tai Chi. Zheng Sanfeng uses martial arts to enter the Dao and shatter the void. Su Chen only read the first few words and ignored the rest. He resumed his actions. Tai Chi was exactly what he needed right now. With the three powers of the three elements returning to one, the 9 Yang divine art, the ice and fire attributes of the immortal grass, and the boost from the blood Bodhi, coupled with his soul power, his internal strength was uneven and needed time to adjust. Now that he had obtained Tai Chi, it was simply perfect. And Tai Chi was perfect for Liena and the others to learn. The 9 Yang divine art was extremely strong in Yang, and the three elements returning to one was too complex. They had originally only been able to learn the wind god kick and practice their body movements, but now with Tai Chi, the whole thing was complete. Instance rewards. Congratulations to Liu Erlong, whose name was mentioned the most in the diary. Reward, add 1,000 years to the age of all spirit rings. Congratulations to Liena, whose name was randomly selected in her diary, and who received a random reward, an external spirit bone that evolves and improves by 10,000 years. Congratulations to Zhu Zhuqing, who became a lucky viewer and can customize her diary theme once. Huh? 2 question marks suddenly popped up in Liena's mind. The external spirit bone evolved. Swish. Swish. Liena couldn't help but release the external spirit bone, and 2 fluffy pink foxtails appeared. She was overjoyed. Oh my god, Su Chen was startled. How could a tail grow out of nowhere? Hey, Liena remembered Su Chen pinching Zhu Zhuqing's tail today and said happily, my tails are real, and they are two tails? Great, great. Twin tails, dong dong dong, right. Su Chen smiled like brother G. So you're really brave, Liena said proudly. Of course. My tails are attached to external spirit bones, aren't they? Su Chen grabbed both of Liena's tails and said, show them to me. Let's start practicing our new martial arts fusion technique. Spur the horse. Next door. Yulingling, who had been tossing and turning, was awakened by the sound of a reward. Huh? Sister Nana actually has an external spirit bone. She's actually evolved and advanced by 10,000 years. Seriously, Yulingling muttered to herself, then heard the sounds of someone practicing a martial arts fusion technique from next door. She added, amazing, Sister Nana is truly amazing. Lucky audience. Oh, yes. Zhu Zhuqing, the girl wearing cattails today. Yulingling thought of Zhu Zhuqing and couldn't help but tilt her head to glance at her own breasts. She couldn't help but admire Zhu Zhuqing, extraordinary talent. Looking down, you can't even see her toes. She's truly a stunning beauty. Yulingling suddenly remembered Su Chen's words and muttered, looks like he's talking about Zhu Zhuqing. Next door, next door. Du Yuan was repeatedly interrupted by the sounds of people practicing martial soul fusion techniques, feeling frustrated. How annoying. Lingling was like this. So was Sister Nana. Are you two deliberately trying to seduce me? Seeing the reward, Du Yuan was startled, her eyes filled with envy. Sister Nana is so lucky. She even got the reward of evolving an external soul bone. Clearly, Du Yuan's attitude towards Liena had changed significantly. Liena was the boss, not only didn't bully them, but she was also very kind and caring towards them. Wuhan City. The Pope's Palace. Bibi Dong's face froze the moment she saw the reward. She knew about Liena's external soul bone. To be honest, the foxtail didn't have much effect. It only enhanced the temptation. It was only because it perfectly matched Liena's martial soul that Bibi Dong allowed her to absorb it. From this perspective, if Liena's external spirit bone can continue to evolve, her future will be truly formidable. If it can be strengthened to 100,000 years, the spiritual power it enhances, combined with the attacks of her 100,000-year head spirit bone, would be unstoppable. Initially, Bibi Dong intended to give Liena a head spirit bone, but the spirit hall elders objected. Ultimately, it was given as a reward from the Spirit Master competition. Coincidentally, because of this, Liena received the incredibly powerful 100,000-year head spirit bone the first time she obtained a 100,000-year spirit ring. Bibi Dong couldn't help but sigh. Zuir, Nana is getting stronger and stronger. Are you still obsessed with the Heaven Dao Imperial family? Thinking of this, Bibi Dong felt a surge of regret, and she felt a surge of apology towards Qian Renxue. If it weren't for her previous indifference towards Qian Renxue, she probably wouldn't have gone on a mission to Heaven Dao. Now, with Qian Renxue's innate level 20 spirit power, she could even ascend to Soul Douluo. Shrek Academy. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing were all practically beside themselves with joy. Ha ha ha, it's finally our turn. Wow, Zhuqing's script finally lived up to its hype. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong lay on Zhu Zhuqing's bed, practically crying. Zhu Zhuqing, with a look of helplessness on her face, stroked their heads one by one and said, you guys. It's just a lucky audience moment, are you getting so excited? Even so, the smile on Zhu Zhuqing's face didn't stop. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong looked up at Zhu Zhuqing, their eyes becoming more complicated. They wanted it too. Zhuqing, Zhuqing, Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong hesitated to speak. Zhu Zhuqing looked at the two of them seriously and said, I know what you're going to say. I've said before that we must work hard, so the three of us sisters must form an alliance and unite to fight against the woman who possesses the diary copy. For me, this lucky audience member only enhances my first and second spirit rings for 1,000 years. You probably need it more than I do, so I've decided to give it to you. Xiao Wu, you go first. Xiao Wu nodded, gratefully saying, thank you, Zhuqing. I actually want to know about my future and find a way to escape the fate of being sacrificed. Zhu Zhuqing nodded and looked at Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong twisted the corner of her clothes and said, I want to know about the evolution of immortal grass into martial spirits. Let's give this opportunity to Xiao Wu. Thank you, Rongrong. Xiao Wu looked at Ning Rongrong gratefully. Zhu Zhuqing pondered, actually, I think I can give you this opportunity, Rongrong. Xiao Wu's ultimate goal is nothing more than to live well, and I'm also under pressure from the Xingluo Empire. We'll help you inquire about the evolution of your martial soul. And you can use the power of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect to protect us. Ning Rongrong heard this and said seriously, don't worry, Zhuqing, you are all my good friends. I will protect you no matter what, even if you don't need this reward. Chapter 65, Quit Drinking from Today. Xiao Wu looked at the two with a deeply moved expression. At that moment, Xiao Wu felt that having them was truly wonderful. It was far better than the 6 years she had spent muddled along with Tang San. Zhu Zhuqing explained, it's different, I know what you're thinking, Rongrong, but your 7 treasures glazed tile sect won't necessarily listen to you. We're giving you this opportunity. You've learned about spirit evolution, and that's a favor. You can use this favor to convince your father, and in exchange for the 7 treasures glazed tile sect's help when we run into trouble in the future. Ning Rongrong nodded heavily, I'll do whatever you say. Zhuqing, you're smarter than both of us, Xiao. Hey, the three finally decided on how to ask. They ultimately decided to ask, the 9 treasures glazed tile tower. Xiao Wu lay in bed, sighing with envy, if only we were as lucky as Liena. Not only did she receive so many rewards before, but today even her external soul bone evolved and increased its age by 10,000 years. How enviable, Ning Rongrong said indignantly, what good luck, that woman is a vixen. We sisters will definitely be more powerful than her in the future. Xiao Wu looked at Ning Rongrong, thought for a moment, and said, Zhuqing and I saw it today. Those 3 women, Liena, Yilingling, and Douluo, are all so beautiful. Yilingling is the woman who treated her last. She's the one with the 9-hearted begonia spirit that Su Chen wrote about. The strange-looking beauty standing behind her must be Douluo, so the one who attacked Ma Hongjin and Daimyo Bei earlier was Liena. She exudes a seductive aura from head to toe. You can tell she's a vixen. She even said the rabbit smells so good. What? Ning Rongrong said angrily, is this vixen so hateful? Xiao Wu threw herself into Ning Rongrong's arms, a look of fear on her face. Ning Rongrong patted Xiao Wu and soothed her, don't be afraid. I'll have Grandpa Sword and Grandpa Bone help you teach her a lesson later, Zhu Zhuqing hurriedly advised. Rongrong, don't act rashly. Liena possesses 4 sets of 100,000-year spirit rings and spirit bones, and she's also Su Chen's woman. HMPH, Ning Rongrong snorted coldly, I'm not afraid of Su Chen either. My Grandpa Sword and Grandpa Bone are far more formidable than Douluo. That night was another night of jealousy over Liena, calling her a vixen. It wasn't just Ning Rongrong and the other 2. The women who possessed copies of the diary were also like this. All the good stuff went to Liena. Damn vixen. Everyone's resentment towards Liena was as if she were the emperor's favorite concubine, making the women in the harem eager to engage in a palace drama with her. That night, Su Chen grabbed the twin ponytails and rode tirelessly. The next morning, the early sun shone on the windowsill. Su Chen slowly opened his eyes and pulled away the fox's tail, a daring thought forming in his mind. Fox? Spider? Rabbit? Angel? Mermaid? Snake? Cat? Grass? Ice and fire? Qian girls group? What a magical continent. It's not that the 9-hearted begonia can't afford it, but the 7 treasures exquisite tower is more cost-effective. 1. Strength. 2. Speed. 3. Soul. 4. Defense. 5. Attack. 6. Enhancement. Even US 5-star General MacArthur stated, after the 6th level of enhancement, this field will be completely useless. Just thinking about it, it's truly depraved. Is this what I'm striving for? No, no, no. Su Chen quickly shook his head and sighed. Wine, sex, money, and anger are 4 walls, and everyone hides within. Whoever escapes this circle will live to be 100 years old. I've been harmed by wine and sex, and I'm so haggard. From today on, I'm quitting drinking. What? Liena asked drowsily. What are you drinking so early in the morning, Pa? Su Chen patted Liena's butt and said, I'm quitting drinking. A day's plan begins in the morning. Hurry up and get up. I'll teach you martial arts today. Huh? Okay. Okay. Liena's attention perked up immediately. Su Chen's martial arts skills were quite impressive, and she was very curious about them. Yilingling and Douluo had already gotten up and were waiting outside. When they saw them come out, they called out, Su Chen, where are we going today? Su Chen thought for a moment and arranged the itinerary. Practice, eat, and play Doudao. The 3 looked confused. Who was Doudao? Su Chen didn't explain. He looked at the 3 and said, Next, I'll demonstrate a set of boxing techniques. This is a technique created by a master at the age of 100. He ultimately achieved AO through martial arts and shattered the void. You can understand this as him being so powerful he could become a god through martial arts. Of course, the gods of this world are far inferior to him in shattering the void. Tai Chi emphasizes the circular movement of Tai Chi, a never-ending process, using intention rather than force. The three watched intently, their faces filled with astonishment. The boxing technique was performed very slowly, but to them, Su Chen's speed was so slow that it left an afterimage. It was incredible. When the set of Tai Chi was finally completed, they remained stunned for a long time. Su Chen asked, "Have you memorized it?" The three nodded seriously. "I have." Su Chen smiled and nodded. "Now, I'll give you half an incense stick. Forget everything. Then perform it again for me later. Tai Chi can be practiced slowly, there's no rush. I'll teach you the three elements. Return to oneness later." Shrek Academy. A new day. The six monsters faced their first test of matriculation. Today's task was to eat Oscar's sausage. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and Zhu Zhuqing were barely able to look at Oscar's lewd appearance and obscene curses, let alone eat them. Tang San, Daimyu Bei, and Ma Hongjin were also somewhat overwhelmed. "I have a big sausage. I have a small sausage. What the hell?" A perfectly good person, completely ensnared by the soul curse. Flender didn't waste time explaining their sausage-eating mission. Coincidentally, Oscar had also broken through level 30, so he told them to complete their task today and then go hunting soul beasts with Zhao Wuji tomorrow. At this moment, Oscar, holding the sausage in his hand, smiled flatteringly. "Who's going first?" Although his smile was calm, it looked incredibly lewd to the others. "Eat your head," Ning Rongrong retorted, crossing her arms and her face filled with anger. "Damn it. What the hell is Su Chen doing? You didn't update your diary all morning, let alone come to Shrek. Can you please pay more attention to your diary work?" Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu were also wondering. Where has this person been? Why does it seem like he has disappeared? Until the afternoon. In Shrek Academy, Tang San, Daimyu Bei, and Ma Hongjin had completed their tasks, leaving only Ning Rongrong, Xiao Wu, and Zhu Zhuqing. Zhu Zhuqing was actually acceptable. Xiao Wu was also reluctant. They just didn't choose to eat Oscar's sausage because they wanted to take care of Ning Rongrong. According to the original plot, Ning Rongrong was the first to eat in order to stay in Shrek, but now she has not been successfully PUE'd, and she is still that little devil personality. Chapter 66. I am really kind. Oscar soothed her lovingly. It's okay, it's already afternoon. Wait a little longer for you to starve. By dinner time, we'll definitely succeed." Ning Rongrong's face was filled with disgust. "If I hadn't been unable to wait for that bastard Su Chen elsewhere, I would have left this academy long ago." Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu were also silent. "I wrote my diary a little late today. My vitality is fully restored now. All day, I've been telling Liena, Yilingling, and Du Yuyan to practice martial arts. Although it's true that divine skills can't be mastered in a short time, what if I get some extra blood body later? Then, with 100 years of internal energy added to my body, I'll be able to take off on the spot." We're almost at Shrek. I wonder if that scumbag Yu Zhigang has arrived yet? This is outrageous. He actually asked me to wait for him. Doesn't he know I know martial arts? I'm going to beat Kun to pieces. This is so infuriating. If Gangzi doesn't come, my trip won't be in vain. Let me think of a reason to bully them today. Hey, why isn't today's theme about characters? Why is it the 9 treasures glazed pagoda? Xiao Wu and the other two were instantly delighted when they saw the updated diary. Damn it. You finally bothered to update. You're finally coming, too. Wait? Xiao Wu and the other two glanced at each other. They'd been wondering why Su Chen hadn't come yet, but now that he was coming, he was going to bully them. While Su Chen wouldn't bully them, wouldn't Liena and the other two have to come too? Liena would bully them. Just thinking about it was infuriating. Rabbit smells really good, Xiao Wu shuddered at the thought. Just then, the sound of horse hooves echoed. Everyone looked. A luxurious carriage stopped at the academy gate, and 4 figures descended. Not far away, 2 children from the village playing soccer turned their heads and accidentally kicked a bamboo ball, Kyuju, over. The people who had descended from the carriage were none other than Su Chen and his companions. Su Chen had taken 2 steps when he saw a bamboo ball rolling towards them. He stretched out his wind god kick, lifting the ball, and a flash of after images followed. The two children were stunned. "Uncle, can you teach us how to play football?" "Still playing football, bang." Su Chen crushed the bamboo ball with one foot and, leading Liena and the other two, walked towards the distant seven devils. "Woo woo woo," the two children cried heartbrokenly. The Shrek seven devils were also stunned. As Su Chen and the other three approached, dark clouds suddenly descended and pressed down on them, a terrifying sense of oppression gradually approaching. Dark clouds pressed down. Tang San's eyes blazed with hatred. "Damn Su Chen, he even bullies children. He is truly a vicious and cruel person." Tang San finished labeling them, his hands already on his waist. "Su Chen, you have already met your end. Let's see what strength you have. Can you withstand the gift I developed last night, the thank you gift for the family members?" Daimyo Bei gritted his teeth as Su Chen and the other three approached, his heart filled with hatred. At the same time, she was a bit confused, not understanding why Su Chen was staring at them. Xiao Wu, fearful, hid behind Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong, on the other hand, showed no fear at all. Instead, she gazed at the approaching Su Chen with a face full of curiosity. This bastard was as handsome as described in the diary. No wonder Liena was obsessed with him. Me too. Oscar, like Ning Rongrong, looked at the four approaching people with curiosity, and was also amazed at the beauty of Liena and the other two. They were much prettier than Ning Rongrong and the other two. There was nothing he could do. Liena, Du Yan, and Yi Lingling were all a few years older than Xiao Wu and the other two, so Xiao Wu and the other two hadn't quite grown up yet. Well, Zhu Zhuqing didn't count. Ma Hongjin was quiet, not even daring to look up. Zhu Zhuqing was searching for an answer, the true Su Chen. She didn't think Su Chen was a domineering playboy, nor did she think he was a bully. This was based on her analysis of the diary. But what was his standard for bullying? Yuzai gang? Tang San? Su Chen walked up to them, looking at the nervous group and said, "What are you doing? Don't be nervous, we're not cannibals. At most, we'll just beat you up, what's there to be afraid of?" Tang San and the others looked grim, their eyes fierce, and they hated Su Chen to death. "Look. At most, he'll just beat us up. Is that even human? You're deliberately looking for trouble, aren't you?" Ning Rongrong, with a look of joy, said, "You are Su Chen, right, as expected. You're very handsome and charming. We're completing the task given by Dean Flanders, which is to eat the sausage in Oscar's hand." As soon as these words were spoken, Liena, Yi Lingling, and Du Yan glanced over, their eyes filled with a hint of amusement. "Are you trying to steal our men?" Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing were also stunned. "Wrong, be more calm." Tang San, Daimyo Bei, and the others were furious. "Damn it. What a self-righteous and annoying witch." Su Chen smiled and said, "Ning Rongrong, I have to say you're classy. When you say eating sausages, you mean I have a big sausage, right, huh?" Ning Rongrong was stunned, looking at Su Chen in surprise, as if asking, "You know all this?" Tang San and the others were also shocked. This Su Chen knew everything about them. What was his purpose? Why would he investigate us like this? Su Chen asked with confusion. "You haven't passed this test yet, have you?" Ning Rongrong shook her head, looking at him with disgust. "He's too vulgar." Su Chen sighed. "Although the soul spell is not decent and the person is not decent, the sausage is innocent. Hurry up and eat it. After that, we have business." Ning Rongrong was stunned. What was wrong with Su Chen? Why did he persuade her to eat this outrageous sausage? Su Chen looked at them and said seriously, "Nana, look at the 6 of them. If anyone doesn't eat the sausage, I'll break his leg." After saying that, Su Chen couldn't help but sigh. "Hey. I'm really kind. Seeing that you haven't completed your mission today, I couldn't help but help you, everyone." At this moment, not only the Shrek 7 devils were confused, but even Liena and the other two were confused. "You are really kind." Ning Rongrong looked at Su Chen in disbelief and said, "What did you say? If I don't eat the sausage, you're going to break my leg." "Su Chen. Don't be so unreasonable. Weren't we just having a good chat?" Su Chen said seriously, "It's because we had a good chat that I decided to help you. You, a little witch who ran away from the 7 treasures glazed tile sect, if you don't even dare to eat a sausage, how can you prove yourself?" Ning Rongrong looked at Su Chen with a complicated expression. This man was really domineering and reasonable. I'll go first. Ma Hongjin took the lead, completely ignoring the hatred in Daimyo Bei and Tang San's eyes. He took Oscar's sausage and began to eat. Eating sausage and breaking a leg? He said a broken leg can be treated. I just want to ask you if you are afraid. Chapter 67. I'll just find a reason to bully you. For a moment, Liena squinted her eyes and looked at the few people, as if urging them to eat quickly, otherwise she would break their legs. Tang San and Liu gritted their teeth in hatred. Although they could accept Oscar's sausages, they could not bear the threat and hated him very much in their hearts. Of course. Now that even Flender was not here, even if they hated him, even if they wanted to bite Su Chen to death, they dared not offend him. They could only bite Oscar's sausages honestly. Zhu Zhuqing stepped forward and whispered, Oscar, take 3 in Xiao Wu and I will eat with Rongrong. This time Ning Rongrong did not refuse. Not only was there the threat of Su Chen, but Zhu Zhuqing and Xiao Wu were also accompanying her to eat. However, she looked at Su Chen with resentment while eating. Damn bastard. How can there be such a kind person as you? I thank your whole family. Su Chen was also very satisfied with this scene. Let's say I am a villain. Who else can compare? Ahem, everyone's cooperating very well. I'm very satisfied. Now let's get down to business. Has Yu Zhigang arrived? He and the others had complicated expressions upon hearing this. Why is it Yu Zhigang again? Liu and Ma Hongjin both felt a little resentful of Yu Zhigang. We don't even know who this Gangzi is. If you want to cause trouble for us, just say so. Why do you keep asking about Yu Zhigang? And Yu Zhigang, could you have come earlier? Tang San was in a complicated state. Could this be an enemy that the teacher had provoked? No, that's not right. This Su Chen, like himself, also came from that world, but he seemed to really care about the teacher. What was going on? Tang San couldn't figure it out. Zhu Zhuqing replied, not yet. We don't know Yu Zhigang, and we don't know when or if he'll come. Su Chen, looking somewhat disappointed, said, Gangzi is truly rude, keeping me waiting. Since Yu Zhigang hasn't arrived yet, we shouldn't have come in vain. Let's put on a little show. Formally, let me introduce myself. My name is Su Chen. The 3 next to me are my girlfriends Liena, Yilingling, and Du Guyan. We're from the Spirit Academy Kung Fu team. We've come to Shrek Academy today to challenge them and see just how capable this supposedly monster-only academy is. Tang San and the others' expressions instantly tensed. Spirit Academy? They're actually Spirit Hall members? Damn it. We have nothing to do with you, so why are you here to challenge them? The point is, we Shrek are in this remote area, with only a handful of students. You don't really think we're that strong, do you? We Shrek are so broke, yet we're still being taken seriously by your spirit hall. Isn't that a bit far-fetched? Liu said grimly, you're all much stronger than us. We already had the outcome last night. It's a bit inappropriate to challenge us again today. Su Chen looked at Liu with a strange expression and replied, I'm just looking for a random excuse to bully you. You're not taking it seriously, are you? Liena and the other 2 choked. As expected of you, Su Chen, you're all about authenticity. You, Liu and Tang San clenched their fists in anger, their fists cracking. Outrageous. This is simply too much. We've never been bullied like this in our lives. Though their eyes were fierce and vicious, they dared not speak out. Ma Hongjin hated him, but after having his leg broken last night and then being treated, he was filled with fear of Su Chen, this gentle and elegant villain. Oscar didn't understand. Why would he bully us for no reason? Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong, and the other 2 had no doubts, for they knew full well that Su Chen had come to Soto City to deal with Yu Zhigang, and bullying Shrek was just a way to pass the time. Zhu Zhuqing looked at Su Chen's frank eyes, his handsome face clearly saying, I just want to bully you guys, and if you don't agree, you'll have to hold it in. Is this what a strong person is? Yes. Zhu Zhuqing couldn't help but sigh inwardly. Without strength, women are not population, they're resources. Su Chen looked at the trembling people with anger and said calmly, I told you earlier, don't be nervous, at most I'll just beat you up, of course. If it were a normal competition, I wouldn't see any point in just beating you up. The next competition won't require martial spirits or soul power. Who's going first? Upon hearing this, Tang San's heart instantly brightened. Great, great. No soul power required, right? He immediately said, Your Excellency is quite capable, so your word is your bond. Since you said we won't be competing in spirit power, then we must keep our word. I propose a one-on-one duel, with each of us sending 1 person each time. Dai Mubei and Ma Hongjin were also delighted. Their physiques, while inferior to Su Chen's, were no match for Liena and the other two women. No spirit power required? Since they couldn't defeat Su Chen, they would just beat his women. Zhu Zhuqing, Xiao Wu, and the other two had complicated expressions. They knew Tang San and his companions were too excited. Aside from Su Chen, the big hanger-on, Liena and the other two must have been training all day, specifically to test their results. Su Chen smiled and nodded. It's settled, you can't kill them without spirit power. Fight with all your might, swallow. Seeing this, Tang San and Dai Mubei looked at Ma Hongjin. Fatty, Ma Hongjin stepped out, looked at Su Chen with a somewhat timid look, and said, you said it. If I win, you can't retaliate against me. Du Yan performed a Tai Chi move and began, talk about it after you've defeated me. Okay, Ma Hongjin charged forward and delivered a punch. Du Yan dodged, then reached out and shoved the 180-pound stout man several meters away. Bang! Ma Hongjin fell flat on his face, stunned. What had happened? Unfair martial ethics. Tang San and Dai Mubei's expressions also changed instantly, shock in their eyes. Ma Hongjin climbed up from the ground and attacked again. Even without using spirit power, a spirit master's physique is stronger than an ordinary person. As the two began to clash, Ma Hongjin was hit by Du Yan's move several times, but he didn't even touch the corner of her clothes. Alright, I've passed. As Su Chen finished speaking, Du Yan's aura suddenly changed, and she leaped up and attacked. Skyfrost fist, bang, bang, bang. This flurry of punches sent Ma Hongjin flying several meters, sending him spewing blood and falling to the ground. Originally, Su Chen had assumed Liena and the other two would take a while to learn, but he overlooked the fact that this was a fantasy world, and that all three were exceptionally talented. Furthermore, Du Yan and Lingling had ingested the immortal grass, making them incredibly fast learners of both Tai Chi and the three elements returning to one. Damn it! Tang San cursed inwardly. He'd already seen it. Du Yan was using martial arts, and it was even more powerful than his Zhuanshengrong. The previous set of boxing techniques seemed like the legendary Tai Chi, and the latter was even more domineering. Just who is this Su Chen? Chapter 68, Testing the Success of Cultivation. Dai Mubei and Oscar were also stunned, and they couldn't help but turn their heads to look at Tang San. The body movements and boxing techniques used by Du Yan were very similar to those used by Tang San to defeat Zhao Wuji before. However, they were more mysterious and domineering than those used by Tang San. Zhu Zhuqing, Xiao Wu, and Ning Rongrong were very envious. Oh my god. This is just their achievement after practicing for one day? It's so infuriating. We all have diary copies, so why are you different from us? You can cheat in the diary copy, and Su Chen can also cheat. Can't the gap be so obvious? That's not right. The three of them are Su Chen's girlfriends. In addition to the diary copy, Su Chen also helps them cheat. This is normal. It really makes people envious and jealous. Du Yan ran over to Su Chen, grabbed his hand, and coquettishly said, I'm a fast learner, right? Come on, give me some praise. Su Chen rubbed Du Yan's head, looked at Lingling, and said, Lingling, it's your turn. Lingling stepped out and made her starting moves. Dai Mubei and the others' faces turned to pieces. They had originally thought these three women would be easy to bully without using spirit power, but now it seemed that wasn't the case at all. Instead, it was as if they had learned something specifically and were looking for sparring partners. Tang San said sternly, Boss Dai, you take the lead this time. They're not that easy. That Liena has a lot of spirit power. Even without using spirit power, she's difficult to deal with. Dai Mubei shook Lingling's wrist and stepped forward to engage her. As a prince of the Xingluo Emperor, he was certainly capable. However, after Lingling inspected his Tai Chi achievements, he was unceremoniously kicked back over 10 meters by Lingling's wind god kick. Puff, it was no surprise. Dai Mubei spat out a mouthful of blood. The few fighting techniques he had mastered were a far cry from the Tai Chi wind god kick. Su Chen looked at Lingling with satisfaction and said, Lingling, I'll help you improve your skills when I have the chance. No one says support-type spirit masters can't deal damage. I'll be a melee support, yes, Lingling nodded heavily. This made Tang San and the others baffled. Damn it. What's wrong with these bastards? High spirit power is fine, but why do they have all these tricks? Ning Rongrong was filled with envy. Oh my god. Lingling, a support-type spirit master, has surprisingly mastered such swift agility. If she cultivates diligently, support spirit masters won't need protection at all. I really want to learn. I need Zhu Zhuqing to help me figure out how I can learn this from Su Chen. Liena stepped out, glaring at Tang San with murderous intent. It's my turn. She had always wanted to kill Tang San, but Su Chen still had to wait for Yu Zia Gang, and she didn't want to ruin his plans, so she held back. Seeing this, Tang San stepped out fearlessly. Although Du Yuan and Yi Lingling's techniques were more powerful, they had been cultivated for a shorter time. Tang San, who had been practicing the Zhuanshan treasure records since childhood, was naturally very confident of winning. Su Chen said calmly, soldier against soldier, general against general. Tang San, your opponent is me, Nana, just play with the little rabbit this time. She has some good soft skills. At Liena's current level, there was no point in fighting Tang San. She had only been training for a day, while Tang San had been practicing since childhood and had martial arts experience from a previous life. Xiao Wu's heart tightened when she heard this. It was over. She was going to face Liena. She looked up at her eyes filled with fear. Xiao Wu, the rabbit, had always been a big sister, but Liena was too powerful, and the sense of oppression she felt was too strong. This made her dare not to move. Tang San was furious, staring at Liena with a threat. If you dare to hurt Xiao Wu, you will die. Liena frowned at Xiao Wu and suddenly asked, you seem quite afraid of me. Come here, little bunny, and show me your soft skills. Aren't they impressive? HMPH, Xiao Wu gritted her teeth. You said we wouldn't use soul power. Anyone who changes their mind is a puppy. Watch me. Xiao Wu bent her waist and dove forward. Liena dodged with a push gesture, expecting a direct throw, but Xiao Wu, like a snake, snaked back around Liena's arm. For a moment, the two engaged in a fierce exchange. Liena swirled with her Tai Chi fists, while Xiao Wu circled her body, practically clinging to her body. The fight was evenly matched. Several people on the field were surprised. This Xiao Wu seemed quite formidable, at least much stronger than Ma Hongjin and Dai Mubei from earlier. Su Chen had to admit, this little bunny had a truly vast array of moves. Her body was so flexible, it was likely to be quite damaging to her waist. Liena, distracted by Xiao Wu's constant pestering, immediately switched her moves. Pei and palm, Xiao Wu expertly slid under Liena. You can't beat me without that technique. Look at my soft skills. The soft-bone rabbit was indeed quite capable. Its soft skills had Liena flustered, and finally, with a rabbit kicks eagle move, it sent her flying. The moment Liena abandoned Tai Chi for Pei and palm, her fate was sealed. She had only practiced for a day. Yi Lingling and Du Yuan rushed to catch Liena. Sister Nana, are you okay? Ning Rongrong, a look of surprise on her face, ran to Xiao Wu's side. Wow! Xiao Wu, you're amazing. You actually beat her. You're truly amazing. Liena clenched her fists in anger, her eyes gleaming with ferocity. She couldn't help but want to give the nagging rabbit a good scolding. Su Chen intervened, saying, isn't it normal to be defeated after just one day of training? Liena was still deeply upset. Du Yuan and Yi Lingling had both defeated each other after just one day of training. She had unexpectedly lost. Su Chen reached out, hugged Liena, and comforted her, saying, don't overthink it. Xiao Wu's soft skills are formidable. No one on the field, except Tang San and me, can match her. You could just practice for a year or two and she'd be no match. Xiao Wu couldn't help but stick out her tongue at Su Chen's words. Su Chen, you're quite knowledgeable. Su Chen glanced at Liena and the other two calmly and said, stand back. I'm about to start showing off. Lingling, heal Xiaoji and Hu Zi. Yi Lingling remained silent, using her spirit to heal Dai Mubei and Ma Hongjin. Su Chen looked at Tang San and his group and said, now the seven of you can attack together. I don't use spirit power, nor do I use any other powers. He closed his mouth. Su Chen performed a set of opening moves, then looked at the seven people quietly. Tai Chi, Su Chen, please teach me. Dai Mubei and Ma Hongjin were delighted. As the saying goes, two fists can't beat four hands. This was just a normal fight. How could his two fists possibly defeat seven pairs of fists? This 7-to-1 advantage belongs to me. Tang San's heart trembled, and his hatred grew even stronger. Tai Chi, it really is Tai Chi, damn it. That bastard Su Chen actually mastered Tai Chi. Legend has it that Zhang Sanfen, the founder of Tai Chi, achieved enlightenment through martial arts and shattered the void. How terrifying is that? Even the legendary gods of this world are far inferior to him. He actually mastered Tai Chi. If you are listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means it was downloaded and re-uploaded without effort. We warmly invite you to visit our channel, Fanfic World. There you will find the original version of this story and many other novels of various genres. We look forward to seeing you dive into a world of incredible novels. Chapter 69. You don't even let your lover go. Xiao Wu and the other two were a bit bewildered. Why bring us along? Wasn't that what we agreed on? Soldier versus soldier, general versus general? Ning Rongrong couldn't help but curl her lips and say, I'm just a support spirit master. I have no combat experience, okay? Oscar looked at Su Chen with embarrassment. I'm a support spirit master too, Su Chen said seriously. A family should be united. Although you've all just joined Shrek, you're still all members of Shrek after all. So, as a kind-hearted person, I'm teaching you to unite. Unity is strength. Su Chen found it amusing. A little witch like Ning Rongrong could be conquered with just a beating. Zhu Zhuqing was similar. She needed to see their true strength so he could kidnap her. As for Xiao Wu, Oscar, and the others, since Su Chen had decided to take action, it would be a good idea to bring them together and beat them up. Otherwise, bullying them individually would make him look like a villain with no sense of proportion. Ning Rongrong was truly grateful. She found Su Chen truly outrageous. He spoke with such a domineering and yet insistent manner that anyone who wanted to refute him couldn't find a reason to do so. Xiao Wu and Zhu Zhuqing were frustrated. It wasn't that they lacked confidence, but rather that they were well aware of Su Chen's mysterious power. 7 against 1 was still the same as 1 against Tang San. The difference was just that there were more people to share the beating. Daimyo Bei, Ma Hongjin, and Oscar felt a surge of anger, believing Su Chen looked down on them, but at the same time, a certain delight. We've never heard such a despicable request in our lives. Tang San's eyes flashed with a fierce look. Zuanshan Treasure Record, Article 3. If you are certain your opponent is an enemy and there is a way to kill him, show no mercy, or you will only cause yourself more trouble. Previously, due to the unknown strength of Su Chen, Tang San had never had a good opportunity to strike. Now Su Chen was going to take on all 7 of them alone. What a golden opportunity. Tang San struck a fighting stance. Big brother Dai, you and Fatty attack from the front. Zhu Zhuqing, Rongrong, and Oscar will attack from behind. Xiao Wu will attack from the left and right. Altogether, before they could say anything, Tang San had already planned his tactics and charged forward. Ghostly Shadow, Mysterious Jade Hand. Su Chen found it amusing. Tai Chi is all about sowing discord. With a backhand, he deflected Tang San, redirecting his mysterious jade hand and striking Daimyo Bei in the direction of attack. Bang! Tang San's palm struck Daimyo Bei, sending a sharp pain through his chest and a spurt of blood. He flew into a rage. Tang San, look carefully. Tang San felt awkward, but there was no time to explain. He switched to the controlling crane, capturing dragon grappling technique and attacked Su Chen. Meanwhile, the others followed suit. Su Chen swung his Tai Chi technique in circles, grasping Xiao Wu's long leg and gently pushing it away. Bang! A pair of long, white legs lashed out at Ma Hongjin's face, sending him flying. Su Chen looked at Xiao Wu seriously and asked, Huh? Why are you rewarding him? Xiao Wu was completely bewildered. Damn it! You were the one who hit me with my leg, and you even took the opportunity to touch it. Who did you reward? Bang! Ouch, that hurts. Ning Rongrong's sneak attack from behind succeeded. But it wasn't Su Chen who was injured, but her own hand. It was so hard. A punch landed on Su Chen's back, but Su Chen didn't react at all. It felt like she had struck stone. Su Chen half-turned, grasping Ning Rongrong's arm with one hand and her waist with the other, half-holding her in his arms and spinning rapidly. Bang, bang, bang. Daimyo Bei, Xiao Wu, Tang San, and Oscar were all knocked over by Ning Rongrong's kicks. Su Chen exclaimed in astonishment, Wow! Ning Rongrong, you're amazing. You actually knocked over 4 teammates with one flurry of kicks. Ning Rongrong, blushing with shame and anger, glared at Su Chen, You bastard. It's all your fault. You used my body to kick them. Su Chen lifted Ning Rongrong and flung her towards Ma Hongjin. Go, reward him, bang. Ma Hongjin, who had just stood up to attack, was immediately knocked over by the flying Ning Rongrong. Ning Rongrong also fell to the ground with a bang. screaming in pain, her eyes red. Purple demon eye. Tang San unleashed his full force, trying to find Su Chen's weakness, but Su Chen simply countered his moves, never actively attacking, leaving him completely unscathed. Ouch! Xiao Wu, be gentle. You knocked all my teeth out, Tang San, you bastard. You're about to break my bones, Zhu Zhuqing, I beg you, don't reward me anymore. My face is swollen from all that. The 7 of them, like 7 children, were being toyed around by Su Chen. They didn't even touch the edge of his clothes, but were beaten up by their own people one after another, each one a horrible sight. Liena and the other 2 watched in amusement. It seemed like Su Chen hadn't hit anyone at all, they were just hitting themselves. Is this the magic of Tai Chi? It wasn't that Su Chen didn't attack, but his power was too great. Without their spirit power to resist, they would be killed by a single blow. Good opportunity, Tang San thought to himself. He pulled a poison needle from his waist, held it in Xuanyu's hand, and suddenly shot it at Su Chen. Ho ha ho ha. Su Chen, you've already got a way to die. This is the poison I spent up all night, researching and developing just to counter you, a thank you gift for your family. Even I can't find the antidote myself, so the poisoned can only hold a funeral and express gratitude to their families, hence the thank you gift. Go to hell. The secrets of that world will never be known to anyone else. It happened so quickly. Just as Tang San was overjoyed at finally being able to deal with this otherworldly being like him, his pupils widened, his face filled with disbelief. No. Xiao Wu, before anyone could react, Su Chen's body swerved, and a tiny poisonous needle darted past him, piercing Xiao Wu's chest with a speed visible to Tang San and Su Chen. Puff. Xiao Wu didn't react, only feeling as if her chest had been bitten by an ant. The next moment, she couldn't help but spurt out a mouthful of black blood. Shit! Su Chen's entire body erupted in a wave of energy, instantly sending everyone around him flying. He reached out to catch Xiao Wu, staring in bewilderment as her poisoned chest gradually turned black. Oh my goodness! That little jerk's attack was truly ruthless. I just wanted to beat you up, and you actually wanted to kill me? You even didn't spare your lover? The scene was silent. No one understood what was going on at first, but when they noticed something was wrong with Xiao Wu, they looked over and saw a black patch on her chest. Resurrection. My love. Chapter 70 Tang San requests to become a minotaur. What's going on? What happened to Xiao Wu? Su Chen, what did you do to Xiao Wu? Su Chen gave them an idiotic look and snapped, are you all blind? Douluo too? Xiao Wu is clearly poisoned. As for how, you might as well ask Tang San. Su Chen was also furious. I just wanted to beat you up, and you actually wanted to kill me? You little jerk, you're so ruthless. If it weren't for your father, Tang Dachu, watching over me, I would have broken your genitals today. Huh? Upon hearing this, everyone looked at Tang San. From his stunned, disoriented, and regretful expression, it was easy to tell that this was definitely related to him. No, Xiao Wu, my Xiao Wu, Tang San was dumbfounded. This 7 steps heartbreaking poison needle, a thank you gift for the family of Su Chen, was specially prepared for him. He wanted it to be quick, accurate, and ruthless, so that Su Chen wouldn't reveal the secrets of his other world before his death. Hence the name Family Appreciation Gift. He was about to step forward when Su Chen shouted at Tang San, don't come over here, don't come over here. Tang San abruptly stopped, bewilderedly looking at Xiao Wu in Su Chen's arms. Xiao Wu, my Xiao Wu, I'm sorry. Su Chen also sensed something was wrong. Something was suddenly off. Cough. Xiao Wu spat out another mouthful of black blood, her face turning pale as the poison began to spread throughout her body. Xiao Wu, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing hurried forward, their faces filled with panic, completely unsure of what to do, how to detoxify. Xiao Wu looked at Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing beside her, a smile on her pale face as she said, Rongrong, Zhuqing, let's be sisters in our next life. I'm still going to die. Rongrong, Zhuqing, I want to be with you. I don't want to die yet, Mom. Duming, Erming, Daimyu Bei, Ma Hongjin, and the others were also stunned. They had a vague idea of what was going on. This must have been Tang San's ultimate move against Su Chen, and after Su Chen dodged it, Xiao Wu was struck. Looking at Tang San's expression of despair and remorse, they understood. Tang San's attack was brutal, even he himself might not be able to save Xiao Wu now. Ning Rongrong cried out, Xiao Wu, you're okay. You'll definitely be okay. We'll be best friends forever. Tears of sorrow fell from Zhu Zhuqing's cool, beautiful face. Xiao Wu, as long as you get better, we'll still be best sisters. Xiao Wu stretched out her hands, grasping Zhu Zhuqing in one hand and Ning Rongrong in the other. It's so good to have you. In my next life, I must meet you sooner. I want to be with you forever. The bond between these friends, though brief, is enduring. Ahem, Su Chen couldn't help but sob. I didn't expect you to be this way, Xiao Wu. You lay in my arms, ignoring your original wife, Tang San, yet you claim to love Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing. The smell was truly overwhelming. Su Chen reached out and pressed 2 fingers against Xiao Wu's acupuncture points to prevent the poison from spreading. He said, well, it's wrong of me to interrupt your sisterly love at this time. But I still have to say, I can cure this poison. She should still be able to be saved, Ning Rongrong excitedly exclaimed. Ah, yes, yes, Su Chen can definitely save your Xiao Wu. Su Chen, you must save her. We, the 7 treasures glazed tile sect, are willing to owe you a favor. Zhu Zhuqing also looked at Su Chen expectantly. Really? Thank you. Su Chen, please save Xiao Wu. Tang San's expression changed drastically, a mixture of surprise and joy and disappointment. You can save her. Can you really save Xiao Wu? Joy was in the air, resurrection. My love, disappointment was that this was the poison he had been researching all night, and Su Chen could actually cure it. This man was even better at using poison than himself? Terrifying. For a moment, Tang San even hoped that Su Chen couldn't cure the poison, so that he could kill him and keep the secret. Liena, standing aside, folded her arms. Seeing Tang San's complicated expression, she sneered, from your eyes, it seems you're not too happy to see Su Chen detoxify. Yi Lingling and Du Yan also glanced at Tang San, their eyes flashing with disgust. Previously, they had only read Su Chen's diary and didn't know Tang San well. Now, seeing him, it seemed that Tang San, young as he was so vicious. Oh, no. He only looked young, but in reality, he was a cold-blooded killer of 29 years old. No, Tang San hastily denied, looking at Su Chen seriously. I beg you to save Xiao Wu. I beg you to save Xiao Wu. Su Chen looked at Tang San and said seriously, you begged me for this, saving someone? That's easy for me. First, suck out the poison to prevent it from spreading. Here I come, little green San, you begged me for this. I'll drink first, in respect. Everyone felt a sense of foreboding as Su Chen spoke. The next moment, he saw Su Chen peeling back some of Xiao Wu's clothes and burying his head in her chest, seemingly sucking out the poison. Tang San? Instantly, Tang San's face turned visibly green. He was in agony, understanding Su Chen's first words, you begged me for this, I asked to be turned into a minotaur? Damn it. This is too much? Su Chen, you've already met your end. Tang San gritted his teeth in hatred, clenching his fists and growling, Su Chen. You beast. What are you doing to Xiao Wu? Puff. Su Chen sucked the poisonous blood and needles from Xiao Wu's chest, spitting them onto the ground. He then shouted at Tang San, how about you do it, eh? Tang San fell silent. The poison mixture he'd been researching was incredibly potent. How could he dare to suck it out with his mouth? Ning Rongrong barked bluntly, Tang San, shut up. How could Xiao Wu be like this? Su Chen is helping Xiao Wu detoxify, and you can't do it yourself, so what are you talking about? Tang San stood aside, his heart swelled with hatred, yet he was completely speechless. He watched Xiao Wu being tormented by Su Chen and could only endure it in silence. Fury of helplessness. The others stood aside in silence. Dai Mubei was thankful that it was the poison needle that struck Xiao Wu. What if it had been Zhu Zhuqing? He would have truly defeated before his husband's eyes. Su Chen was practically dying of laughter. Detoxification. Actually, using internal energy could force the poison out of the needle, but if he did that, what was he saving? It would be better not to save anyone. Slurp, slurp, slurp. The arena was silent. The sound of Su Chen taking the poison was loud and clear, and it was clear that he was taking it seriously and with all his heart. Although everyone remained silent, they would glance at Tang San from time to time. This feeling is very unpleasant, right? The poison in the poison needle has been temporarily absorbed. Next, you need internal energy to heal the wound and dissolve the toxin that has invaded the body, Su Chen said, and once again set his sights on Tang San and asked, "This time, I will let you choose again, to save Xiao Wu or not. You should know that the poison in your poison needle spreads very quickly. Now Xiao Wu's meridians have been eroded. If it is not dispelled quickly, there is still no way to save her. I can't break your bones now, but I can stimulate your bones to rise." Chapter 71. You have a good eye. Tang San instantly felt bad upon hearing this. Damn it. Why are you asking me to choose again? Ning Rongrong frowned and said, Su Chen, why are you asking him? Just save Xiao Wu. Dai Mu Bei and the others were puzzled. It's already come to this, is there anything more excessive? Yi Lingling and Du Yuyan looked strange, remembering the need to take off clothes to detoxify. Su Chen, tell me, how could you be so mean to Xiao Wu? Su Chen looked at Tang San and said seriously, they may not understand, but you should fully understand. I need to use extremely strong and yang internal energy to detoxify. Women's constitutions tend to be more yin, so yang energy cannot be dissipated and accumulates in their bodies, which can be life-threatening. Secondly, scientifically speaking, women have much thicker fat than men. Most of this fat is stored subcutaneously, blocking the meridians, which greatly hinders the use of Gong and healing. Women have thick subcutaneous fat, which reduces the efficiency of energy transmission. If you add a layer of clothing, the efficiency of energy transmission will be further reduced, seriously affecting the use of Gong and healing. Finally, I want to tell you that if you want to detoxify Xiao Wu, you must remove her clothes. If you don't, it will be very dangerous. Although Su Chen said it seriously, he was actually almost laughing to death. Master Zhang really knows how to play. Tang San, oh Tang San. Is your head buzzing again? Dai Mu Bei and the others were shocked at the words. The previous action was already outrageous enough, and now removing clothes was required to detoxify. Would this make Tang San's cuckoldry a complete lie? Du Yuyan added, Su Chen is right. Ling Ling and I can attest to that. The green phosphorus snake venom in my body was dissolved by Su Chen. Of course, Tang San, you can refuse. After all, no man can accept the woman he loves being seen naked by other men. Tang San's face was as ugly as if a yin had died. His nails dug into his flesh, and hatred filled his heart. He couldn't accept it, but he couldn't help but save Xiao Wu. How hateful. Su Chen, you damned bastard. Liena crossed her arms, gave Tang San a playful look, and said, Su Chen, I'm a little jealous. How about we not save her? That's so reluctant. Su Chen said seriously, hey. I'm a kind-hearted person. I can't bear to see separation. She hasn't said no yet, so let's wait a little longer. Ning Rongrong was about to speak, but Zhu Zhuqing stopped her with a look. She understood. Su Chen was just trying to play a trick on Tang San, not because he didn't want to save her. Tang San gritted his teeth and blurted out a single word, save. Su Chen said with an unhappy look on his face, it's really reluctant. It was clearly me who wanted to help you save people, and it was you, Tang San, who poisoned them. I saved them regardless of the past, but you act like I'm bullying me. This attitude makes me very unhappy. Tang San's nails were almost bleeding, and he was filled with hatred. Damn it. I, Tang San, have never suffered such a great humiliation in my 2 lifetimes. Su Chen, you really deserve to die. Please, save Xiao Wu. Tang San gritted his teeth and said each word. Su Chen sighed slightly, forget it. Although your attitude makes me very unhappy, you are begging me after all. Since you beg me, then I will help save people. Little Green San, you are begging me again. Speech closed. Su Chen picked up Xiao Wu and said, take me to a quiet room. Ning Rongrong hurriedly said, Su Chen, come with me to my dorm with Xiao Wu. Let's go. Ning Rongrong's concern for Xiao Wu was obvious, which puzzled Su Chen. It seemed like they had just met at the beginning of the school year. Everyone followed, finally stopping outside the door. Tang San watched Su Chen carry Xiao Wu into the room. Then, thinking about what would happen next and what would be needed to detoxify her, he felt a surge of hatred. So much hatred. Xiao Wu, my Xiao Wu. One day, I will gouge Su Chen's eyes out to cleanse your innocence. Third brother will never despise you. He endured it. Dai Mu Bei and the others had remained silent. This scene made them feel a little sorry for Tang San, but there was nothing to say. After all, it was Tang San who had poisoned her. Su Chen had put aside past grudges to save her. Even though they were enemies, they had to admit that he was a good person. In the room, Su Chen placed Xiao Wu on the bed and said calmly, "Little Wu, I've just injected my inner energy into you. Now, take off your clothes and sit on the bed while I detoxify you." Xiao Wu had indeed been feigning unconsciousness, unsure how to handle the situation. Now, upon hearing Su Chen's rebuke, her face flushed crimson. Su Chen urged, "What do you mean by I? You're only able to speak now thanks to the inner energy I injected. If you don't detoxify quickly, you'll be seeing your mother. Besides, why is Xiao so precious about Xiao Wu?" This remark nearly broke Xiao Wu's defenses. Her temper flared, and she defiantly retorted, "Damn it, who told you I was targeting I'm still young." At this point, Xiao Wu thought of Zhu Zhuqing and shut up again. Zhu Zhuqing was quite devastating. "Hurry up," Su Chen urged irritably. "If you have anything to say, wait until you've detoxified. You're still in a critical period. The longer you delay, the more trouble you'll have, and I'll just observe, not do anything." Xiao Wu listened to Su Chen's words, her eyes fixed on him. She also thought to herself, this man is really handsome. Well, he wants to help her detoxify, so there's nothing to be shy about. Yet, Xiao Wu replied in a mosquito-like voice, then closed her eyes, doing as Su Chen instructed, waiting for the poison to be detoxified and her injuries to heal. Su Chen sat down cross-legged at the back, his hands resting on Xiao Wu's back. He activated the 9 Yang divine art and began to heal her. After a stick of incense, Su Chen, after clearing Xiao Wu's body of toxins, used his internal energy to examine her again. He found no internal injuries. He then performed a full body check, but found no external injuries either. Xiao Wu, just observing, not doing anything? Su Chen then stood up and said, "Don't overthink it, because I'm not a good person at all. I'm checking your injuries purely to collect the payment for this treatment." Xiao Wu quickly slid into bed. "You may be a scoundrel, but thank you anyway." She knew in her heart that if Su Chen didn't save her today, she would really have to go to see her mother. "Psycho," Su Chen muttered and walked out. Outside, the group saw Su Chen coming out and hurried forward to ask, "What's going on? Is Xiao Wu okay?" Su Chen nodded slightly, his face calm. "After helping her detoxify, I checked her again. Xiao Wu is in very good health. Don't worry." As he spoke, Su Chen fixed his gaze on the gloomy Tang San and whispered, "You have good taste. That girl is very beautiful." Chapter 72. He humiliated me. In an instant, Tang San's heart burned with overwhelming hatred, his eyes blazing with fury as he charged forward, determined to fight. "Su Chen, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Damn it. He'd actually done that to Xiao Wu. This hurts worse than killing me. Xiao Wu, Xiao Wu, Xiao Wu." Snap. Su Chen raised his hand and slapped Tang San to the ground. Dai Mubei and Ma Hongjin quickly restrained Tang San, urging him to calm down. "Tang San, calm down. Su Chen just saved Xiao Wu." It was all because of saving her. To be honest, they held some resentment towards Tang San. Tang San had poisoned Su Chen with a needle and kept it a secret from them, which was why Su Chen hadn't pursued the matter. If he had, they would have been implicated by Tang San. Tang San lay on the ground, his eyes red with rage. Though he was a cunning man, he couldn't help it. He had never been bullied like this in his entire life. It was so smooth. Whether it was moist or not, Tang San himself had no idea. It was just the beginning of school when he was 6 years old. They slept together for a day, then separated after getting a blanket. All these years, Tang San would at most touch Xiao Wu's hand, but Su Chen kissed Xiao Wu's rabbit. Tang San was truly furious. Su Chen shook his head in disappointment, saying, "I just saved someone, and already I'm being hated. The world has changed so much. It's hard to be a human being these days, and being a good person is even harder. Being a villain isn't easy either. It really makes me sad." Su Chen was very happy today. He had originally planned to tease Tang San casually. Who would have thought? That idiot Tang San would actually cooperate so well? It was hilarious. Ning Rongrong looked at Su Chen seriously and said, "Su Chen, thank you for saving Xiao Wu today. If you need any help in the future, you can come to me." Su Chen raised his hand to stop her from continuing, explaining, Su Chen, never do anything that loses money. Xiao Wu has already paid for the rescue. Don't be polite with me. I'm such a softie. If you're so thankful, how the hell can I continue to bully you with a clear conscience?" Duong. Su Chen's words were like a sledgehammer, tearing Tang San's heart apart. It hurt. It hurt so much? Xiao Wu actually paid the fee? Tang San's heart was growing increasingly frantic. If looks could kill, he could have stabbed Su Chen to death 100,000 times. Xiao Wu, Xiao Wu. Su Chen looked at them with a serious face and said, "Before I leave, shouldn't you say something to me?" Zhu Zhuqing said sincerely. "Thank you." Daimyo Bei and the others followed suit. "Thank you." Su Chen finally fixed his gaze on Tang San and said angrily, "You're rude. I don't like it. Say thank you, or I'll beat you to death." "You?" Tang San was truly on the verge of collapse. "I still need to say thank you? Damn." However, Tang San's silence was something Daimyo Bei, Ma Hongjin, and the others found unbearable. Grudges aside, while they still longed to kill Su Chen, today they truly needed to say thank you. "Tang San, what are you standing there for? Say thank you." If it weren't for Su Chen, Xiao Wu would have truly died. Tang San, coerced by the group, gnashed his teeth. "Thank you." Su Chen finally smiled with satisfaction and left with Liena and the others. Tang San watched Su Chen walk further and further away before remembering Xiao Wu. Just as he was about to go in, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing stopped him. "Tang San, please be kind. Xiao Wu just recovered and is very weak. She needs to rest. How can you be kind?" Tang San's thoughts grew increasingly agonizing, and he spat out a mouthful of black blood, nearly fainting from rage. Ning Rongrong glanced at Tang San speechlessly, then said, "You pervert, you two look after Tang San. Zhuqing and I will go in and take care of Xiao Wu." With that, she dragged Zhu Zhuqing into the house. Daimyo Bei and Ma Hongjin helped Tang San up and began to comfort him. "Tang San, think about it, he was just detoxifying Xiao Wu just now." "Yeah, Tang San, a real man never has to worry about not having a wife. Let Dai Boss take you out to have some fun tonight. He recently found a pair of sisters. I envy them so much." "Shut up," Tang San and Daimyo Bei scolded in unison. Ma Hongjin scratched his head awkwardly, looking at the two of them with some confusion. He felt that he had said nothing wrong. "Dai Boss, didn't you say that women are not population but resources?" "You?" Daimyo Bei was also gnashing his teeth in anger. "These words could be said between the two of us in private, but can't you grow a little brain?" In the house, Ning Rongrong and Zhu Zhuqing came in and saw Xiao Wu huddled under the covers, with only her head peeking out. They stepped forward and asked with concern, "Xiao Wu, how are you? Are you feeling better now?" Xiao Wu nodded, tears streaming down her face. "I'm completely fine, but, Rongrong, Zhuqing, Su Chen humiliated me." "Woo woo woo." Xiao Wu burst into tears. "What?" They were shocked and asked, "Did he do that to you? You're still so young, how could he?" No. Xiao Wu hurriedly shook her head and explained, "It wasn't that humiliation. It was when we were healing, he said I was so young and so good." "Ridiculous." "Woo woo woo." "What?" Their faces flushed instantly, and they were completely embarrassed. Ning Rongrong then said indignantly, "That bastard, you jerk. We're still young. We're young anyway. Isn't that normal?" It was obvious. Ning Rongrong felt offended. Zhu Zhuqing stood aside, finding it difficult to sympathize with her sisters on this matter. Meanwhile, Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong's gazes suddenly fell on Zhu Zhuqing. Although they thought nothing of it and felt perfectly justified, seeing Zhu Zhuqing's exceptionally gifted and enormous breasts, so huge, they felt less confident. Zhu Zhuqing shook her head and said, "You may not believe this, but as a spirit master of the agility attack type, having them this large is actually a burden to me, not what I want." 2. 6. Elsewhere, Su Chen, Liena, and the other two boarded the carriage and began their journey back to Soto City. Liena sat beside Su Chen, a little envious. "Brother Su Chen, are you happy helping little rabbit heal and detoxify?" "Actually, I'm poisoned too. Can you help me out when you get back?" "Huh." Su Chen laughed out loud, flicked Liena's head, and said, "I'll help you detoxify tonight. As for healing little Wu Rabbit, all I can say is, I'm sorry." Yi Lingling and Du Yuyan glanced at Su Chen from the side. He was becoming increasingly unruly. Liena, chin in hand, muttered, "This Tang San, he looks harmless on the surface, but I never thought he could be so cruel." "Yanzi, do you think Tang San's poison is strong?" Du Yuyan said seriously. "Very strong, not even me. Not even my grandfather could detoxify it." Liena's wariness of Tang San grew even stronger upon hearing this. If Su Chen hadn't been here today, Whoever was hit by the poison needle Tang San had prepared would have died. No wonder he was able to ruin Xiaoxu's plan and destroy the spirit hall. It's truly remarkable. Liena pondered this while glancing at Su Chen. She began to formulate a plan. Once Su Chen had waited for Yu Xiaogang to arrive and finished his work, he would deliver a fatal blow to Tang San. Su Chen squeezed Liena's hand and said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of everything." Tang San may appear to be a child of 12 or 13, but his mental age is already 30 or 40. His specialties are unconventional methods like poisoning and concealed weapons. Treat him as a cunning and treacherous old man, and everything will become more logical and simpler. Liena and the other two nodded heavily at Su Chen's words. With Su Chen's words, all of Tang San's actions became perfectly reasonable and easy to accept. Chapter 73, The Love of Parents. On the way, Su Chen finally remembered that he hadn't finished writing today's diary. What a pleasant afternoon. Today, I went to Shrek and didn't see Yu Xiaogang. I was just going to bully Tang San, but who would have thought? The pure and innocent Tang Fozu would directly launch his ultimate move against me, the way to death. Although I bullied them last night, I didn't go too far. Tang Fozu is also known for his forbearance. Today, he actually used a mixture of deadly poisons on me, trying to kill me. I'm really not sisterly here, of course. The little scoundrel's despicable tactics can't do anything to me. If the poison needle hadn't pierced Xiao Wu, if I weren't kind-hearted, the little rabbit would have exploded his 100,000-year spirit ring on the spot. Well, even though I got the advantage of the detoxification, even though I was the one who committed the crime, all this is really Tang San's own fault. Just thinking about Tang San's green face today is hilarious. Oh my gosh. I suddenly understand. Snap. Su Chen smacked his thigh. Liena couldn't help but grin. It hurts. That. I was just too excited for a moment, Su Chen replied, reaching out to place his hand on Liena's long leg, massaging it as he continued writing in his diary. Before, I hadn't figured it out. After all, Tang San, as a time traveler, is actually 40 years old. It's impossible for him to just attack and kill me based on my frivolous behavior without knowing my true background. Now that I think about it, the flaw all came from how I addressed him last night. Last night, I called him Pure and Jade Tang Buddha. This world only has the Azuris, angels, and other gods from the divine realm. There's no Buddha at all. So, when I said Tang Buddha, others didn't understand what I meant, but the word Buddha pointed out our commonality, interdimensional visitors. Of course, there are Buddhist sects in the martial arts world. He must have assumed that I came from the same world as him, and he was trying to kill me because he was afraid his secret would be exposed. Now that makes sense. I was wondering why he suddenly committed a suicidal act. That little scoundrel is indeed a little scoundrel, so cautious. Okay, let's get started on today's task, the 9 Treasures Glazed Pagoda. Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong sat with her chin in her hand, lost in thought. Tang San was truly scheming. He had decisively killed Su Chen. It seemed he was desperate to keep his secret as a time traveler safe. Bibi Dong was puzzled. If that was the case, why didn't Su Chen kill Tang San outright? Was he waiting for Yu Xiaogang? That wasn't quite right. Killing Tang San would allow him to go find Yu Xiaogang. So Su Chen didn't want to kill Tang San, so why was that? Logically, as 2 time travelers, they should fight to the death, right? Bibi Dong frowned, lost in thought. 2 possibilities. The first was that Su Chen had never taken Tang San seriously, and therefore treated him like Yu Xiaogang, a mere toy for him to play with. Secondly, Su Chen couldn't kill Tang San right now. He feared the consequences. After all, Tang San was Tang Hao's son, a member of the Haotian sect, and backed by the sea god and the Azura god. In a cave, a blue-silver emperor trembled. Yin, reading Su Chen's diary, felt her lowest point. If she had previously held out a glimmer of hope about Su Chen's diary, today she was completely certain that Tang San was a time traveler. But if Tang San was a time traveler, was he still her son? Yin was confused and tormented. She simply couldn't wrap her head around this question. Perhaps she already had the answer in her heart, but she couldn't accept it. A time traveler. Yin recalled Su Chen's explanation, and her heart ached even more. So Tang San was the Tang San of another world, just like Su Chen? Or was Tang San not her son? Yin's heart ached. To have fallen to this point, to have failed to protect her son, how could she have such a miserable fate? Was this the punishment for the union of a soul beast and a human? Pity the heart of a parent. Besides Yin, Xiao Wu's mother Aro was also in agony after reading the diary. She truly was inconsolable. How could her daughter be so foolish? She'd almost been poisoned to death today. Alice Aro was heartbroken, but like Yin, she couldn't do anything. When discussing the 9 treasures glazed pagoda, one must first discuss the 7 treasures glazed pagoda. It's truly a powerful auxiliary martial spirit. I've written before that no matter how much the 9-hearted begonia heals, it only works after the person is injured. In a match of equal strength, the 7 treasures glazed pagoda's boost is clearly superior. Increasing combat power with healing is useless, everyone's soul power is there. Even if you heal infinitely, you'll still be no match for the opponent, who, after the boost, is stronger than you. Whether it's the 7 treasures glazed pagoda or the 9 treasures glazed pagoda, it all depends on one person, Ning Rongrong. Ning Fengzi once said that Ning Rongrong was the only genius in the sect in hundreds of years who had the opportunity to transform the 7 treasures glazed pagoda into the 8 treasures glazed pagoda. In the normal storyline, Ning Rongrong consumed the Kilo tulip, allowing her spirit to break through its limitations and evolve into the 9 treasures glazed pagoda, capable of supporting 9 spirit rings. What a shame. Now that I've given the Kilo tulip to Yi Lingling, it'll be much more difficult for this little witch, Ning Rongrong, to evolve further. I have to criticize Yu Zhiqing again here, that useless guy. He once warned Tang San not to overuse external objects to boost his spirit power, as this would affect his future cultivation and weaken his foundation. Later, while consuming the 9th grade purple Ganoderma, he broke through to level 30, and tearfully exclaimed, "Oh, how delicious!" Of course, Gangzi didn't stand a chance, as I'd already given the 9th grade purple Ganoderma to Douluo on the carriage. Seeing this, Yi Lingling couldn't help but tightly grasp Su Chen's hand. Her heart was filled with gratitude towards him, and she wished she could immediately bear him 10 children. If Su Chen had given Ning Rongrong the Kilo tulip, he'd probably not only have seduced her, but he'd also have become a distinguished guest of the 7 treasures glazed tile sect, one of the top 3 sects. Compared to this, Yi Lingling felt that she was the only one who could repay Su Chen. And yet, Ning Rongrong was no less than her. How could Yi Lingling not be moved? Su Chen's eyes fell on Yi Lingling, and with a smile, he touched her face and asked, "What's wrong?" Yi Lingling shook her head, leaning into his arms. "Nothing, I just wanted to hug you." Liena and Du Yuan pouted beside them. Of course. They could see the preciousness of the Kilo tulip now. And Su Chen had known it all along, but he didn't give it to Ning Rongrong, but directly to Yi Lingling. Love was the essence. Chapter 74. The gap between people is so big. Shrek Academy. Zhu Zhuqing had finally managed to comfort Xiao Wu when Ning Rongrong suddenly burst into tears. Woo, Su Chen, you scoundrel. If he knew the Kilo tulips were so good, why didn't he ask me? Why couldn't he just give them to me? I'm obviously no worse than Yi Lingling. Even if I'm a little younger, I can still grow up. I can still give myself to you. Xiao Wu's heart sank again upon hearing this. Woo, that's right. That's right, Su Chen is a scoundrel. Why does he look down on the younger ones? We're obviously still young. When we grow up, we won't necessarily be worse than Yi Lingling, Liena, and the others. Woo, what? Zhu Zhuqing was momentarily stunned. If you keep bringing this up, we really can't be friends anymore. Is everything I say wrong? Don't be sad, Rongrong. This is just the beginning. Su Chen hasn't written the rest yet, so there might be other ways to evolve your spirit. Ning Rongrong looked at Zhu Zhuqing upon hearing this. Xiao Wu also stared at her, their eyes determined. Zhu Zhuqing, hand over your secret cultivation method. Zhu Zhuqing glanced down, but couldn't even see her feet. With a look of helplessness on her face, she said, "My mother and my sister are both like this. This size should be like a spirit, passed down through the bloodline." Wow, woo. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong burst into tears. We were all 12 years old. How could the gap between us be so huge? This is key to the large calligraphy and painting, and will be tested. Let's talk about the 9 treasures glazed pagoda. It is indeed the primary auxiliary spirit. However, evolving from the 7 treasures glazed pagoda to the 9 treasures glazed pagoda is neither difficult nor easy. Old God King Jack once said that a spirit is like a seed planted by a farmer, buried within each person. When the spirit awakens, the seed will no longer slumber but will be awakened. When a suitable spirit ring is acquired in the future, one will become a spirit master. For another example, Tang San later accepted a disciple named Jixiang. He originally had 0 innate spirit power, but through practicing the Zhuanshan Guang and with the assistance of the 10,000-year Ginseng King, his acquired spirit power broke through to level 10 a few years later. When Tang San saw him again, he had already cultivated to level 80th and was given a divine spirit ring by Xiao Wu, preparing for his breakthrough to the 90th level of title Douluo. This means that the so-called limitations of a spirit are actually the limitations of its owner. When the spirit's owner has great potential, the spirit will thrive. When the spirit's owner has weak potential, the spirit will be greatly suppressed and malnourished. Ning Rongrong's 7 treasures glazed pagoda, Yilingling's 9-hearted begonia, Yu Zhiagang's Luo Sanpao, and even Jixiang, who possess 0 innate soul power, all share the same principle: the potential of their martial soul masters reaches its limit. Therefore, once they possess the natural resources and grow, the seeds in their fields will truly flourish. It's not that the road is bumpy, it's that you're incompetent. I've already written a lot of nonsense today. Even in my diary, I'm determined not to be exploited by capital. I'll explain the details later. I'll write 5 ways to achieve innate full soul power someday, and it will be easier to understand. Shrek Academy. Ning Rongrong stopped crying and carefully read Su Chen's diary over and over again, analyzing the answers she wanted. A long while passed. Ning Rongrong, bewildered, said, "So, according to him, I'm lacking nutrients and need fertilizer." Ning Rongrong was truly at the end of her voice. "Su Chen, oh Su Chen. Can you please stop your taunting? What do you mean by I'm incompetent? You're practically writing, Ning Rongrong is a loser." Zhu Zhuqing frowned, somewhat incredulous. He said Tang San would accept a disciple in the future, one born with 0 spirit power, yet he could cultivate to level 80th and even become a title Douluo. Xiao Wu and Ning Rongrong were also dumbfounded, their faces filled with disbelief. "We're not well educated, Su Chen, don't lie to us." However, Zhu Zhuqing questioned it briefly before saying seriously, "This should be true. There's no need to make up what Su Chen wrote in his diary, just look at your Lingling and you, Rongrong. Why were your spirits able to evolve using the immortal herbs? Isn't it because you each have limited potential and haven't fully unleashed your spirits?" Ning Rongrong said with a gloomy expression. "So the clown is me. I'm just like what Yu Zhiagang said, there are no useless spirits, only useless spirit masters. I'm a useless spirit master." Ning Rongrong was depressed. Zhu Zhuqing hurriedly shook her head and said, "Not really, not really. You and Yilingling didn't unleash their full potential because your own martial spirits are too powerful. Yu Zhiagang is too useless, not even worthy of the blue lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex. His martial spirit mutated to adapt to him, but he was so useless that he ended up losing his martial spirit to him. Well, now I finally understand just how useless Yu Zhiagang is." Ning Rongrong nodded, looked at the two and asked, "So, my martial spirit evolution doesn't necessarily require Kilo Tulip. Any immortal herb that can reach the Kilo Tulip grade will do?" Xiao Wu added, "That's about it. Of course. The medicinal properties have to match." Zhu Zhuqing also nodded and said, "Think about it. That Jixiang, who had 0 innate soul power, was able to cultivate to the level of title Douluo. What else is impossible?" Ning Rongrong said seriously, "I understand. I'll write a letter next, asking my father to start collecting rare treasures, immortal herbs, and elixirs. In short, even if these things can't help me evolve my martial soul, they can definitely help others cultivate and improve their soul power." Zhu Zhuqing thought for a moment, then said, "One more thing. If these are not enough, we can add one more, a cultivation method." The reason why Jixiang was able to succeed was probably because you practiced Tang San's Zhuanshan Guang. Don't be stupid. Don't ask Tang San, why? Ning Rongrong asked with a puzzled look on her face. "With the financial resources of our 7 treasures glazed tile sect, it should be possible to buy Tang San's Zhuanshan Guang." Zhu Zhuqing held her forehead and smiled bitterly. Wrong. Even Xiao Wu doesn't know about Tang San's Zhuanshan Guang. It's his golden finger as a time traveler. How could he possibly give it to you? Don't you understand today? The reason Tang San killed Su Chen without knowing his true background was because he was afraid of exposing his own secrets. You want to buy the Zhuanshan Guang? You've already set yourself up for death. Chapter 75. I, Tang San, have never been inferior to others in my life. For a moment, Ning Rongrong was speechless. Yes, Su Chen had already analyzed Tang San's anomaly today in the diary. What should we do? Zhu Zhuqing, noticing Ning Rongrong's disappointment, pondered for a moment before saying, Rongrong, Tang San can't obtain his Zuanshenguang, but there's still Su Chen. Compared to Tang San's concealment, Su Chen has already passed on the cultivation methods he knows to Liena and the other two. There's hope of obtaining them from him. Ning Rongrong was instantly overjoyed. Yes, the spirit skills Su Chen, Liena, and the others used today are clearly more powerful than Tang San's. If Tang San's Zuanshenguang can be supplemented, then there's no doubt that Su Chen's techniques will be no problem. I'll go talk to him tomorrow. Zhu Zhuqing shook her head again. No. Su Chen doesn't seem to know about the diary copy yet. If you go directly to him, you might cause unnecessary trouble. My suggestion is to ask Liena for help first. Xiao Wu was also feeling mixed emotions. She seemed to understand. Third uncle didn't trust her much? This was actually a good thing. Xiao Wu didn't know why, but she felt relieved at the thought. Spirit Hall. Bibi Dong repeatedly read Su Chen's diary, her chest churning with shock. Even if one was born with zero spirit power, one could compensate through cultivation and ascend to the rank of titled Douluo? How could this be possible? Bibi Dong couldn't accept it. This also made her believe more and more what Su Chen had said in his diary, that Tang San could cultivate someone born with zero spirit power into titled Douluo. She was afraid that her stepping stone would soon be established. The more Bibi Dong thought about it, the greater the pressure she felt. From her previous disdain for Tang San, she began to take him more seriously. Immediately, Bibi Dong began to order the spirit hall to make every effort to acquire rare treasures, magical herbs, and elixirs. After doing all this, Bibi Dong suddenly thought of Yu Xiaogang and couldn't help but sigh. Yu Xiaogang, you're truly a loser. Your innate spirit power isn't good, and you haven't even found a way to achieve a breakthrough. You truly are a loser. At the prince's mansion, Qian Renxue was filled with regret. I really shouldn't have come to Heaven's Dao. My fields are strong, my seeds are powerful. But it just happened. I'm a fool, starting with innate level 20 spirit power, and I was completely ruined. So, losing to Tang San in the end was entirely my own fault. But now that we've come this far, giving up is out of the question. It's truly a headache. Qian Renxue was also feeling depressed, and she began to envy Liena. How wonderful it was to be free and unfettered. Now she was already a level 80 soul Douluo. I couldn't even catch up. Wait? Qian Renxue suddenly grasped the bright spot. Although she hadn't won the first prize in the diary copy, she had won the second prize twice before. Now that his soul power has reached level 64, what if he could claim the 3 hidden rewards? He'd be a titled Douluo. Nana, that little girl, is only level 80. If he really wanted to catch up, he could easily surpass her. Qian Renxue thought of this, a hint of a smile twitching her lips. Little fox, don't get too excited too soon. Who knows, one day I might just be so ruthless that I could not only catch up with you, but also continue to be your sister. In the carriage, Yi Lingling was completely dazed. Great. I'll cuddle with you in your arms, while you write in your diary that I'm no good, a useless soul master. Su Chen, you really can tell people off. Yi Lingling's face suddenly flushed at the thought. Du Yan, watching from the side, looked bewildered and asked, Lingling, why are you blushing so suddenly, huh? Yi Lingling felt as if her tail had been stepped on, lying in Su Chen's arms, not daring to look up. Su Chen glanced at the others and said to Liena, Nana, you sleep at Lingling's tonight. I need to absorb the magical herbs and practice all night. He had been so busy dealing with Liena and Yi Lingling for the past 2 days that he hadn't used the magical herbs Kirantong Xianzhu and Coxcomb Phoenix Sunflower. One of these magical herbs, Kirantong Xianzhu and Coxcomb Phoenix Sunflower, can circulate qi and blood through the 8 meridians, cultivating an indestructible body. The other is a powerful pure yang tonic, making it a perfect match. Originally, Su Chen wanted to settle the score with the little punk, but Tang Dachu was watching from the shadows, and Su Chen was still a little wary of his ring explosion. He needed to improve his strength before settling the score with Tang San. Liena snatched Yi Lingling up, hugged her, and said, Lingling, tonight you're mine. Yi Lingling blinked at Liena, a look so endearing that Liena couldn't help but pinch her cheek, almost wanting a kiss. Su Chen, looking at her with a strange expression, pinched Liena's buttocks and said, You're not allowed to play with my woman. What? Liena was stunned. Puff. Douluo, standing nearby, burst out laughing. Liena pulled Douluo into her arms as well, looking at Su Chen provocatively, and said, "Both of you, I want them all." Ha! Su Chen sneered, angrily saying, "That's hilarious. You only make me more excited. Sooner or later, I'll play with all three of you. This night is destined to be a sleepless one." Shrek Academy. Oscar comforted Tang San, who sat dazed on the bed. "Tang San, don't worry. Zhu Zhuqing just said that Xiao Wu is fine and resting." Tang San glanced at Akis numbly. He wasn't worried about Xiao Wu right now, but rather he was wary of Su Chen. Too strong. Not only was Su Chen powerful, but he could also detoxify him. A fellow traveler from the same world, yet he was so formidable. This made Tang San feel like he was sitting on pins and needles. Like a lump in his throat. Like a thorn in his side. He was restless. Su Chen. There were so many ways for him to die, yet he simply couldn't kill him. Xiao San. Just as Tang San was lost in thought, unsure if he could truly resolve the threat posed by Su Chen, he suddenly seemed to hear a familiar voice. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Tang San quickly stood up, pushed open the door, and ran out. Into the remote woods. Tang San saw a familiar figure and couldn't help but call out, "Dad." The man turned around and saw it was Tang Hao. "Xiao San, a temporary failure is nothing. What doesn't break you will only make you stronger. Dad believes in you." Hearing this, Tang San couldn't help but clench his fists. "I understand." Tang Hao nodded and said, "I've observed that Su Chen. He's just a useless guy with a soul power level of around level 20 who's developed some strange and tricky skills. Our clear sky hammer is the most powerful weapon spirit on the continent. And you have twin spirits. As long as you practice diligently, you'll be no match for anyone in your lifetime." Tang San nodded heavily and said, "Dad, I'll work hard. Tang San, will never be inferior to anyone in my life." "Yes," Tang Hao nodded, his face calm. "Go back and rest. One day, Dad will be proud of you. My son, Tang San, has the potential to become a god." Normally speaking, Tang Hao wouldn't come out unless Tang San's life was in danger. However, Su Chen's two appearances seemed to have shaken Tang San's heart. Tang Hao worried he'd been devastated and unable to recover, so he stepped in to comfort him. Furthermore, Tang Hao hesitated over whether to teach Su Chen a lesson. Ultimately, after weighing the pros and cons, he decided against it. It wasn't that Tang Hao didn't want to bully the weak, but he didn't dare to take the initiative. Su Chen had already said today that they were from the Spirit Hall. If Tang Hao intervened, they, father and son, would have no peace in the future. Of course, this balancing act was premised on the fact that Su Chen had long known of his existence and had a firm grasp of Tang Hao's psychology. Therefore, even while Su Chen was bullying Tang San, he never showed any killing intent towards him. Ding. Diary, recording the wonderful life of time travel. Rewards. Congratulations to the host for receiving the reward. All spirit rings have their age increased by 1,000 years. Congratulations to the host for receiving the random reward. Spirit power increased by 1 level. In the room, Su Chen, who is meditating and cultivating, glanced at the system's reward and continued his practice. Level 23. After tonight's training, and the medicinal benefits of the 2 immortal herbs, even if I progress slowly, I can still advance 2 more levels. This way, I'll reach level 25. It's only been about 10 days since I activated the cheat code, which is quite impressive. In 2.5 months, I'll even be able to level up with Tang Dachu. End of this chapter. Thank you so much for reading until the end. Don't forget to give it a like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription or donation encourages us to continue. Thank you all. See you in the next video.